Yep.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Chat with the Comic Community. Sorry for the late start. Me and Boston Chris been just having a rousing conversation back here talking about high school and wrestling and stuff. So I could tell this is going to be a great conversation between me and him because we are connecting 80s babies. So we just talking all stuff old school, So I just like to welcome Boston Chris back on the show. How you doing, man? It's great to have you back on here.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, man. We was backstage and we was just talking about wrestling and the whole start of the Attitude Era and all the stuff that we grew up with. Like wrestling during that time was huge in high school. Between the WWF, Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, the NWO, the amount of shit that we used to do back then.
Oh yeah.
Telling people to suck it. I'll tell the story to you. Times Square, right? After school, we went to Times Square because this is when they had TRL, Total Request Live, and Eminem was there. Eminem was outside talking to the fans and stuff. So, we got in our heads. He like, hey, let's scream "suck it" to Eminem and brought on. And that's exactly what we did. Like after they did the interview and stuff, Eminem was greeting some of the fans, and then we just did loud "suck it" to Eminem, and we all just hightailed it, man. We ain't care. We just want to just get our presence known, tell Eminem to suck it. Not so much as we ain't like Eminem. We just want to tell him that straight up, like, hey, just do something funny to the celebrities. So that's how influential wrestling was to us as kids, man.
Oh, it was crazy. Like when I was in high school, I remember that. Like, I remember the whole DX thing was like when it took off, man. Everybody was doing everything, cross chop. Like we used to get in trouble for that. Yeah. They started. I remember they started banning the shirt. So like if you have the suck it shirt, you gotta turn it inside out. And like I don't have another shirt. Like I'm not turning it inside out. Like you know what I mean. And they used to sit there and like, oh yeah, that was a big deal. I remember there was a kid. Who combined it one time. He sat there and he decided that he was gonna do like the New Jack like stage dive thing.
Oh,
but he was sitting there. So like people put their bags down and he climbed up on one of the on one of those rafter things, the stands, and he's sitting there. They jumped off of it onto his bag and he hurt himself. And so he's just sitting there, and one of the football coaches picked him up, take him to the nurse, and he's sitting there, and he's walking around, and he's just going, DX, suck it. I was like, oh my god, he was a funny dude. He used to sit there and just go off and do all that type of stuff. But it's just one of those things where I remember, I'll never forget. I remember you figure. So my freshman year was when it was before all that happened. So my freshman year is like the lead up into it, and I remember. All the kids that liked wrestling, they're like, no, shh, don't say nothing. Like, we don't tell everybody you like it. I mean, this girls, you can't be saying stuff like that. And I remember when I flipped over, like when Nitro, when the NWO started getting hot, then all of a sudden, like, it got more mainstream, and then there was like, people just were talking about it openly in class and stuff, and people were just like, oh, like, did you see last night? You see this, you see that, and it was just like, so it switched over, and then like, when they had when the Monday Night Raw the Monday Night War really kicked off, that's when everybody was talking about it. Girls, guys, everybody was just, and there was no hiding. Everybody knew. And there was like pretty girls, like all popular and pretty girls sitting there walking around like rock t-shirts and all these different things. So it was just like, one of those things where like we would just take it from like this little, like we're hanging out at school with the crew and and then all of a sudden it's just like, no, like everybody loves this stuff. And it was just like, and it was a fun time, man. It was really, really cool to see all that go down. Cause it was like, every Monday or every Tuesday was just crazy. Cause that's all you talked about in class. It didn't matter about, this is science. Like, we're talking about, Sting came down and beat up the NWO last night. It was always a big deal. And it was really cool.
It was always tough for me because sometimes I couldn't watch the second hour of Raw because we had to be in bed by 10 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
And my mom would come and take over the TV. So I was like, fuck. So I got to fucking either look up on the internet when I get up in the morning and just try and go off of what I read on the internet because I hate going to school and they talk about, did you see the last part of Raw? Did you see what happened? and I ain't see it. Sometimes it was rough, man. It was rough.
They would, yeah, because that was the thing. It would be like as they going off the air, and they maximized on that because they knew if they gave you just enough to be like, oh, like what's gonna happen now, and they always cut it off right before something was gonna happen. So if you were there live, and that was the thing to get you to go there live too, because if you were there live, there was extra stuff that they would do. So when Raw would come to Boston, like when Nitro didn't come to Boston too much. I think it came like 2 or 3 times by the time I was when I was in high school. But like Raw would come at least like once or twice a year. So it's just like, so we would go and check it out, and it's just like, oh, like, and when it cut off, and they'd be like, oh yeah, and then this one came out, and what's it called? The Rock and Stone Cold was singing like Heartbreak Hotel, and people like, they do that stuff, like, oh yeah, like when it goes off, like there's a whole another hour of stuff that they do when you leave there. So it's just like it was like, it was a special thing to be able to go to the show and actually see it.
Plus, they have dark matches, that you don't see on the live broadcast. Because I remember I went to the MSG show. I think it was '97.
Mm-hmm.
Psycho Sid versus Bret Hart in the steel cage. This was before the Raw steel cage match. Because they did this on the house show loop, and I saw that match. It was broadcast. The show was broadcast on MSG, but the cage match wasn't.
Yeah.
So I went and told my friends, like, yo, I watched the cage match between Bret and Sid live. They're like, that wasn't on MSG. We saw the other matches. I ain't seen those Bret Steel. I'm like, no, I was there live. I saw that match. They ain't believe me.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that used to be the thing too. And I remember that too. Like, yeah, everybody would be like, nah, that didn't happen. Like, it did. And then I remember like there'd be stuff like that. So there'd be like all like the little fun stuff, and then there'd be those other matches. And then you would see like it was funny because you would see guys come out that like no one heard, like we used to see like dog match with like the Hardy Boys. No one knew who the Hardy Boys were. Like the Hardy Boys, who's these dudes? And so you got to see some of these like guys as like rookies that you wouldn't even know like were gonna be big deals and stuff like that. Like I remember years and years and years ago, like we had gone to a Raw and Tommaso Ciampa was on there, but he was Tommaso Whitmore, I think it was his name. It was either Whitney or Whitmore, and he was just some local dude, and they said that, he's they introduced him, and he's from like my hometown. I was like, oh, he's from here, cool. And then you fast forward 15, 20 years, and this dude's like the king of NXT. Like he was big time in ROH, and it's like, whoa, yeah. Like this same guy that got beat up over here, and this same guy that got chokeslammed by the Undertaker, like what I mean? Because there's the thing, like he got chokeslammed by the Undertaker when he had hair. Like like, we saw Tommaso Ciampa when he had hair, and funny thing. So he is from a city, well, his family's from a city called Somerville up here, and my wife, her cousin, one of her younger cousins, I guess, played baseball with him. So like she knows his family and everything. It's like, oh yeah, like I remember them from way back and blah blah blah. I was like, well, that's him right there. Like, and she's like, oh, that's what he's doing now, cool. And she couldn't care less. She's like, she's not into wrestling at all. But I'm like, so like you knew this guy, like yeah. She's like, yeah, we went to like their birthday parties and stuff. I'm like, so you went to this guy's house and this and that, and this is how it is? And she's just like, yeah, whatever. I was like, I can't believe that. Like, if someone I knew was on wrestling, I'd be shocked. Like, yeah, good, go for it. But like, that's just the way it is. If she's not, that's the thing. If someone else isn't into it, it's like, oh, well, whatever. Like, it's like, she's like, she loves Big Brother. She's like, oh, I knew this. I met this person that was on Big Brother and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, so, it's like that's how it goes. Big Brother. Yeah, so she's just like, she's telling me all about this, and I'm like, and she's just like, you don't think that's crazy? I'm like, I guess. I was like, but you knew Tommaso Ciampa, now that's crazy. And she's like, no, it's whatever. I knew him, so what? And I was like, whatever, man. But that was the thing.
If she would have said she knew somebody like Bret Hart, I would have flipped my lid. And I'm like, what?
Oh no, dude! Like that would be the coolest thing in the world. But no,
I know. Like Bret Hart was one of my favorites. I couldn't stand Shawn Michaels. And as a kid, when he lost to Shawn at WrestleMania, I was like, that was such a gut punch for me.
Yeah, I mean that broke my heart too, because I was like, oh man, just because, especially too, I go back to that and they're like, they need 5 more. I was like, no, they don't. I was just like, it's a tie, like it's a draw. That's it. I was like, like what's it called? Champions Advantage. He goes, like, I was so mad when he lost. I think I was really upset with that. But then I remember too when he came back and he was like, so that's when he started to turn, and he's like doing the anti-American stuff, and it was just like, I'm not booing Bret Hart. Like, you know what I mean?
Same thing. Same.
Like,
hey, when he told America, he said, "America, coast to coast, can kiss my ass," and I said, "Yeah, Bret, I'm with you. Wait, man, I'll kiss your ass because I'm a Bret Hart fan." But you know what's funny? You know what's funny? I did not want to like Steve Austin. He was too damn entertaining, but I did not want to like Steve Austin because he's going against Bret. But what he did to Bret in the ambulance, I was like, man, he got me there, man. He got me there.
His promos are what got me, because I used to love what he would do. He said that, I remember he was on Livewire or something like that, and he was just like,
Livewire, yeah.
And he was he was like, you know what? You put S in front of Hitman, and that's my opinion of Bret Hart. I was like, I started laughing. I was like, that's funny. But
yeah, the stuff he was saying was hilarious. But I'm like, man, you going against my boy, man. That's Bret Hart.
Oh, yeah. Know? I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that as long as I live. When they were just like, when they were making him say all this stuff that, like, you know, he's supposed to get you angry. I was like, you're not going to get me to say anything bad about Bret. I was just like, I don't care what he says. It's like, no. I was just like, the line is clearly drawn. I know exactly what I'm like. You can make Shawn Michaels the shining light. I don't care. I was like, I'm Team Bret the whole way. And then what was really tough with that one is when they made it so, like, you know, Bret Hart whacks the Undertaker and costs him the title, and it's like, oh, now Shawn Michaels is the bad guy. It's like, so, and it was like kind of like the bad guy versus bad guy thing. And it's like, no matter what, they're gonna boo this dude. I'm like, no. I was like, now you're not gonna sit there and get me to, you know, just because everyone loves Bret Hart and everyone doesn't like Shawn Michaels, you're gonna sit there and try to flip it around, but not flip it around like Bret Hart's still gonna be bad, so you have to boo him. No, I was like, man, it's not happening. I was like, I'm all Bret Hart no matter what. So it's just like that was a thing. That was a tough one. Like going back and looking at it, it's like, you know, you had those deep. You know, I mean, just because people really loved, you know, like they love their superstars, and it's just like, you know, so you have the wrestlers that you like, the wrestlers you don't, and the same thing with like companies. Like there were people that were diehard WCW, like no matter what. It's like, I don't care what they're doing on WWF. I'm all about WCW, and then the other way around. Don't care nothing about what's going on WCW. I'm all of this. I was one of the channel flippers. I would go back and forth because I was like, you know what, like. As much as, like, I mean, I definitely leaned more WWF at the time, but I was like, but I can't deny what's going on here. I was like, this is crazy. Yeah. I was like, I turned it back, and then, you know, like especially when the NWO was first starting out and everything, it's just like, you know, when they come down and just beat people up, and there was just like, you know, that one where they like they're in the back, and then they take Rey Mysterio and throw him into the air conditioners. I was like, dude, I can't turn away from this. This is nuts.
Yeah, that was fresh, new, exciting television for wrestling. You didn't see stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what's funny? I just like you know, we both was up north guys, so we grew up more on the WWF than the NWA, WCW. Yep. But when I watch all the old stuff on the network, I'm like, damn, you know, the NWA in the 80s was better than the WWF. Way better.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll say that all day. Like that's one of the funnier things too. Is like, you know, you go back and you look at that stuff, and it's one of those things where, as a kid, yeah, you'd be like, oh, of course, WWE, because they had the bigger characters. But if you go back, there's no way. And people are like, oh, like if they did a WWF versus NWA back in the NWA would have fucking smoked them. Just from a talent perspective, it's just like they had the better matches, they had the better talent lineup. Like you could have never done a crossover because it was just like there's no way. Like I go back and think about it. If they ever did, Hulk Hogan, I just look at it like this: Hulk Hogan, for as over as he was not going to beat the Four Horsemen. There was no way Hulk Hogan would stand alone against them. They would have killed him. Like not so much like I mean physically beat him, but it's just like they as a collective, like he couldn't handle them by himself. Even if he had a group of WWF guys, it's like just because of how they operated and how they presented it, like you weren't beating that group. And then you know,
look all the years Dusty had to battle them and the stuff.
Exactly. Everybody, like you look back, it's like, you know, because and people don't give them enough credit. It's just like, you know, you go back and you look at it. It's like, you know, so you have them beat up Dusty, they beat up Sting, they beat up Lex Luger, they beat up the Road Warriors multiple times. They beat up the Road Warriors. Like there was times where, like I remember there was one where they came out and whacked Animal in the head with something and knocked him out, and then the rest of them just jumped Hawk and beat the shit out of him. Like I mean, they left them in the middle of the ring, knocked out both of them, and then they get on the mic and say, "That's what happens when Big Bird, Hawk, and Animal want to talk. Like we just take them right out. We don't care." It's just like, like you know, and on a one-on-one fight,
they knew how to generate heel heat, but at the same time, they were over with the fans. Like we hated them and loved them at the same time because they were new and fresh. And you know, Ric Flair always was the champion. We wanted somebody to beat him, but he always kept the belt. And it kept bringing us back. And when you watch those old shows, I'm like, damn, this is far more adult oriented than the cartoonist WWF.
Yeah, well, because they presented it, they were presenting it as a sport, which, I mean, if when I go back and when I think about it, it's like, you know, even though yes, WWF still standing, they're the ones that are there. That was their biggest mistake, was to get rid of the sport element of it, just because you can't sell, like, and I've seen them try to do it a couple times. Oh, we're gonna have a big fight, like they try to do it with Randy Orton and John Cena, like Randy Orton versus John Cena 3. It's like, yeah, it doesn't work that way because it's not a sport. You can't sit there and put it out there. Everybody knows that this is not, you know, a legitimate sport anymore. But had you not done that, then you could have said, oh, like you know, this is battle number 3. Like, we'll see who's gonna win this one. It's just like, and that's the thing that WCW always did. They always the NWA at the time always presented as a sport, and they always made it seem, you know, and anytime that, you know, Ric Flair was like, that's sport, a professional wrestling, like he always went off like that. So it was just like they had no choice but to make it, you know, more adult, just because it was like one of those things where it's like, you know, this is what people are here for. Whereas, you know, I mean, literally WWF had a cartoon. Like I remember watching that cartoon, the Hulk Hogan one with the big car and everything. Like they had actual cartoons to sell their products. So it was all about, you know, the kids at that point.
Then they became WCW and tried to be like the WWF.
Yeah.
The RoboCop thing.
Oh, I remember that. RoboCop.
I mean, there was whatever stupid gimmicks like ding dongs and all that stuff. It was so crazy. They tried to turn Ric Flair into Spartacus. And this was Jim Herd who was I watched all the documentaries, and it's baffling what they did when they became WCW.
Well, yeah, and then when they hired Bill Watts, and Bill Watts was like, oh, I'm going to make it like old school, so I'm going to take it back like 30 years and put it like, you can't be on the top rope and you can't do this. And like, he tries to defend himself saying like, no, like, so you can't throw somebody over the top rope. It's a disqualification. You know, you can't jump off the top rope. No, you could definitely jump off the top rope. You just had to do it in a different way. Like you had to kind of try to make it so that, like, you know, the ref couldn't see you. I'm like, that's what the cheaters do. Like the good guys just like Flying Brian is gonna do. It's in his name, Flying Brian. You can't take the top rope away from him.
I think that's what hurt it the most. Is they stifled the cruiserweight division at that time. You know, the light heavyweights like Flying Brian and Juice and Thunder Liger. Once they implement that rule, it's like Juice and Thunder like, hey, I'm out of here, man. See you. I'm going back to Japan.
Oh yeah, and that's actually, it's funny too. You bring that match, like that match is a crazy classic. I think a lot of people forget how good Flying Brian really was, because he was that dude that, like, he was the one that crossed over and was like, all right, Liger comes over, and of course, like, it's like, all right, no one knows who Liger is, but after that first match, everybody knew who he was. He was great.
Yep.
And then it was like, but then you got to see, like, you know, here's this guy who's you know, Flying Brian is keeping up with this guy, you know, who's doing all these moves you've never seen before. Yep. And then not only that, he beat this dude. And the first time, like, he just barely beat him. But the next time, it's just like, you know, it's a legit fight. You know, like, they're going at it. And it's just like, you know, you got to see just how good he was. And it was funny because, like, you know, that's always been a crutch, I think. You know, and WWF's, I guess, you know, their version of allowing that to kind of make its way to being, you know, smaller guys can win was when they let Bret Hart win the title. Because it's like, all right, here's a guy who's not, you know, Hulk Hogan. He's not a big dude. He's not the Ultimate Warrior. He's just like, you know, I won't say an average build guy, because he's bigger than the average person. But it's just like, here's a guy who's not like this hulked up, you know, beefcake who's out there just, you know, fighting. It's just like, here's this dude that, like, you know, makes it seem as though anybody can do this. And it was cool. And then they let him have it for a while. Like, they let him run with the belt for a good amount of time. But then, you know, we got Yokozuna, man. We got to put it back on a big guy. It's just like, no, you don't. Like, I mean, but I guess, I mean, in terms of if they didn't, though, then Yoko wouldn't have had a career. So I can understand why they did that, just because, I mean, Yokozuna wasn't even able to crush everybody. Like, that would have got boring quick, but it's just like, you know, but if you let him beat Bret Hart and now he's a champion, even if he cheated, it's still like one of them things where it's like, all right, that's what got him over.
Well, it's funny that he did cheat to defeat Bret at WrestleMania. It was just undermined about Hulk Hogan coming out and winning the title right after that. That even as a kid, I'm like, really, man? I mean, I don't like seeing the bad guy beat the hero, and I didn't like Bret losing the title so quickly. But Hogan coming back and taking the belt, he didn't even fit that time period of '93. Like he felt old at that point.
Yeah. And that was a funny thing with all that too, is that he was so out of place, but he just came back and won, only to like lose it like 2 weeks later, and it was just like, dude, like what was the point? And then I feel like it wasn't too long after that what was it? They did that body slam contest, and then Lex Luger became, Lex Luger body slam. There goes Luger. He's a good guy, but he was a narcissist like a week ago. He was like, with the mirrors and posing and
it's like they saw him like he could be our next American hero. He put him on the American Tights, the Lex Express, and all that shit. I'm like, man, put the belt back on Bret. What the fuck y'all doing? and it's funny. It's funny because the A&E biographies has been pretty good, but that Bret Hart one was really good. And I watch wrestling bios on YouTube, and he does amazing, content and stuff. But one thing about Bret Hart is that he made wrestling felt real again. During his run, whatever matches he had, it felt real. He put his all into it. He made everybody look good.
Yeah, no, I was just looking at the thing. The Lex Express made me laugh. The Lex Express episode of the Old School Wrestling Podcast. I'm telling you, man, like that bus went through everywhere. I remember, like they said that. I don't even think he was on the bus, which is funny. I think they just sat there and just drove the bus around the country. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree 100% with what you're saying. It's just it was just one of those things where they were just trying to create any heroes they could and be like, yeah, we gotta have and it was just like he wasn't the guy, and like you said, put it back on Bret, like let him have his title back. And it's funny
Bret,
when
people like to crap on Bret because he wasn't the big draw like Hogan, and he wasn't a great promo and stuff. But I didn't even look at it like that when I was younger. I looked at it as Bret had a cool look, with the pink and black shades, the jacket and all. And his matches was captivating. The match against Owen Hart at WrestleMania, classic. And that's what made me a huge Bret Hart fan. The match against Davey Boy Smith at SummerSlam. I watched that match numerous times when we had it on tape because it was so good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had you look back on a lot of his stuff, it was really good. Like I remember one of the things I used to love to do back in the day was like if you look at the old Survivor Series matches, you can kind of tell sometimes if there was somebody who was like, this guy's gonna be a star. And there's it's funny because it's ironic too, because like there's I think it was like 88 and then 89, and in the 88 one, Bret Hart is on a team opposite Macho Man, and then so like a couple people get eliminated, and then now it's Bret Hart and Macho Man, and they're fighting, and Bret Hart's putting on the show. But then he ends up losing. And then in 89, I think it was like Shawn Michaels, and he's fighting Macho Man. And the same thing, like Macho Man's making him look great, but then he ends up eliminating him right after. And it's like you could tell that like the people that had talent that were there, but it was just like it was being able to see those guys get showcased a little bit, which was really good. And it was just like it was really really fun to kind of see those, random matchups, or like, you go back and you look at the Saturday Night main events, and it's like, oh, Bret Hart's in singles action tonight. It's like, oh, this is going to be different. This is going to be, it's not the same as where he's doing those same simple moves. Like now he's doing all this different stuff, and you get to showcase it. And it's just like
that match he had with Macho Man on Saturday Night main events was really good.
Yeah, and it's like they would have those, and it was just like you get to see those guys do those things, and I agree with you. Like Bret didn't have a good. I mean, he admits it. He's like, I was not that guy. Like he's like, and he's like, when the whole reason why he had the glasses is because he was just sitting there just like this the whole time, like because he was nervous. He didn't, he wasn't ready to talk in front of a camera. He never had to. Like up in Stampede, he'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna fight you this week, and that's it. And then he would just go away like no one cared. Now they're like, no, tell a story, say something. He's like, I don't know how to do that. So that's why they paired him up with Neidhart, because Neidhart could talk, Bret couldn't. He would just be like,
Bret will feed off of Neidhart, and Jimmy Hart. You can't forget the mouth of the South.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Hart's great. Like I love Jimmy Hart. What's funny with Jimmy Hart is I don't know if you watch hockey at all or not, but like whoever does the local broadcast for the New York Islanders, when he gets excited, sounds just like Jimmy Hart. It's the funniest thing in the world. He's like, they done scored, baby! I'm like, oh my god! Like he doesn't say it, but his voice goes up high like that, and he just goes nuts. So
Jimmy Hart was kind of. I was fortunate to meet him earlier this year. I think it was back in April. I met him at a little event they did, and I met him, Gangrel, and Sergeant Slaughter.
Wow,
I was happy. Right there. Yeah, I was happy to go up there and meet him. Tugboat was supposed to be there, but he couldn't make it. But I met him back in December.
Yeah, so I'm trying. I've met Gangrel before. Gangrel's cool. I met him in Luna because Gangrel is from actually. I think he's from around this area, or he hangs around this area a lot. So it's like him and Luna. I met her before. Like, I mean, this is way before she died, but I met them two before. I never met Bret Hart though. I never met Jimmy. Like, because I think he'd be a kind of a cool guy, and he's funny because like
awesome.
He seems like he's like really down to earth. Like as much as like he was like big and excited and everything, he sounds like he's like super down to earth, and he's just like everyone I've ever seen talk to him, he just thanks them over and over again because like he's like, I'm glad I made you happy. I'm glad I made he says it seems like a really awesome. Really humble guy. He's happy
I got the whole the megaphone, and while we was there, he was like the event host. He was telling people where all the things was at within the event. If you take your kids over here, the wrestling ring on the other side. He was telling people where all. So he was like hosting the event as well.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And then Saj would be fun to me just because I remember, just back in the day, like, my introduction to him, I think before, because I don't think I realized he was a wrestler first. So like I thought it was just a G.I. Joe character.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, I remember you from G.I. Joe first, and then it was like, but then he became, then there was like, he's a wrestler and everything else. I'm like, no, he was always a wrestler first. I was like, and then my mother told me too. She's like, and not only was a wrestler, he was a bad guy at first. I was like, really?
Yeah, because people think he was a bad guy just with that whole thing with the Iraq thing. Like, nah, he was a bad guy in the late 70s and 80s.
Yeah, he used to beat up on Bob Backlund and stuff.
Yeah, have those bloody wars with the Iron Sheik.
Yep. My sister actually is funny enough. So another guy who is and I it's funny too because I'm curious if when they did that so A&E was doing that thing with the prized possessions. So it was, and one of them was Brutus Beefcake, and it's just like Brutus Beefcake hangs like he was up here a long time. Like there's a tattoo artist that used to own a tattoo shop, was like really good friends with him, and my sister was good friends with the tattoo guy. So like she met Beefcake like a million times, and she's like, he makes me nervous. He's just such a big guy. I'm like, he's a nice guy. They're like, hey, he's real nice. He's just a big dude. Like so like for her because she's short, so it was just like intimidating being in his presence. But it's funny because like they traced back his garden shares to some guy that's on the South Shore around here. And it's just like, and it's funny because like I was watching it and the guy's like, well, it's like, I can't just let you have him. I'm like, give him back his shares. What are you doing? I was so mad at him. I was like, he's like, 3,500, just give him back. The guy is sitting there in your living room giving you the experience. He's like, he's one of my favorites. I'm like, he's right in your living room. He's shaking your hand. He's just give him his shares back. But
I started watching that episode and then I had to go to work, so I couldn't finish it. That was with him and Greg Valentine, the Dream Team.
Yep. And they try to get they try to get back the shin protector, and and I think they want to get a robe of his too. And like it was just like it was funny because they went to Jimmy Hot's store and he's like, "Do we have the Heartbreaker? Let me see if we got the Heartbreaker, baby. Let me go ahead." And I'm like, and then like he found it. He's like, "Yeah, we got it in a box over here." I was like, "Wow!" And it's funny to think that like those guys just like lose that stuff over time. It's just like, yeah, no, we just kind of let it go. I'm like, wow, like. And now they're trying to get it back to I guess because are they doing like a museum project or something like that? And they want to have all the memorabilia for a museum, which is cool. I mean, that's really cool just to be able to say like, yeah, these are the original, But it's just like it's just funny that like a lot of that stuff just kind of hanging out. And I think you don't really see much of that. Like that's the thing. Like I've never really thought about like this is where like this actual Jake the Snake bag went to. This is where the Ultimate Warrior's tassels, like someone bought those off of eBay at some point. It's just like, it's there's people that have like these crazy things that people, all them, what's it called, elbow pads the Rock throw out in the crowd. Like somebody got those somewhere.
Oh yeah, do you know how many elbow pads was in the crowd, man? Shit.
Especially the nights he'd do two of them. He'd be like, that's the second people's elbow. Take the other one out and throw it. So
I remember the episode when he did the sliding people's elbow to British Bulldog. And he threw the sunglasses into the crowd. I'm like, shit, I wonder who still got those old sunglasses, man.
Oh, I mean, it's great. All the kids that get the Bret Hart glasses and stuff. I used to be so jealous.
Oh, man.
When I was a little kid, I used to sit there and like, I just want to be right there. He'd be like, give him the glasses. Like, I wish.
I got the glasses, man. I'm on TV too.
I wanna. I've tried to look for those too, like the authentic, anything even close to it, and it's just like, sometimes like I saw some prices on eBay that were good, and I saw some prices that were like out of this world. I'm like, oh, I don't know about those, but I would love to have a pair of those.
Yeah, just for the memories, and say that Bret Hart put this on my head, man. Look at the shades. I have that in the frame.
Oh yeah, it just be crazy. It's like, yeah, here's the Bret Hart, and it's just like all those crazy things that come through. It's just like, and it's funny because a lot of people take if you're a kid, you don't think about that type of stuff. So it's like, oh yeah, John Cena threw his hat out to me. It's like, yeah, no, that hat is going to be something that they're going to come back looking for in like 20 years. Oh, that hat is like that's a souvenir that you keep forever. It's like, yeah, no, like they threw it in the crowd and I got it.
Nah, man, if he throw that and then comes to me, I'm throwing it right back, man. Fuck John Cena.
Nah, that's funny. It's funny. It really is funny when you think about Cena, because a lot of people because so many people I've seen this garbage, and I'm among that crowd. But it's like you go back to it, it's like he's the Hulk Hogan of this generation, though. Like he's the guy. And as much as it's like, as much as we fight against it, because it's like, but he's the guy. Like we grew up with the actual Hulk Hogan. We grew up with Stone Cold. We grew up with Red Hot, and this is what's left. But but to all the little kids, you look at a little kid, or anybody who grew up with him, like he's their man. Like he's their guy. Yeah. It's just like, who's the best wrestler? John Cena.
Here's the thing with Cena. I enjoyed him during his Thugonomics phase.
Yeah, yeah.
Then when he abandoned that quickly and just became plain vanilla John Cena, he could still cut promos, but there was nothing about him. Like we mentioned Hulk Hogan. We all remember Hulk Hogan, and we all can imitate Hulk Hogan. What you gonna do, brother? There's nothing imitatable about John Cena that I can mimic or want to say. Like I thought his catchphrases were weak. Like that's why it's a joke now. Every time with the Suicide Squad trailer come on, like, which I don't see John Cena in this movie because I can't see him. They should have made him the villain, so like he was like Brad Pitt was in Deadpool too, because you can't see him. Great.
That would have been great.
So I just feel like all those guys that we grew up with, we can mimic, we can imitate. Macho Man, Ric Flair.
Oh yeah,
all those guys we can imitate.
One of the best. Macho Man is literally one of the best ones, just because of how you go back and it's just like, I don't know anybody who you say Macho Man, they go, ooh yeah, every single person got their Macho Man.
Always rises to the
top. And then like what made him so great, especially with a promo, was that he would go from that really low tone and then start screaming and then go back, and he would just go up and down. Like one of my favorite ones that he ever did was the one where he was mad at where he was mad at Hogan over Elizabeth, because he starts screaming, then he gets real low again. He starts screaming again, and then and then when he was talking about actually the other one that's really good is when he was talking to Ricky Steamboat before WrestleMania 3. He's like, I am the Lord and Master of the Ring, and he's just going off about it. He's like, you will never get the belt.
And then his body movements, the language for the body, doing things with his fingers and stuff.
Yep.
It's like you want to imitate that because it's just so over the top and ridiculous, but it's so entertaining.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Like today's wrestling just don't capture what we had in the 80s. Characters like Ric Flair. You're supposed to hate Ric Flair, but he's so damn entertaining with his rants that you just want to go off like Ric Flair.
Oh yeah. The thing that why too, the other thing that makes it really tough is that a lot of what's happening today is written. A lot of it's like they have their writers. They say look, you need to hit these points and do it like this, and then no, let's take it again. It's just like they didn't have that. It was like, all right, go out there and say what you're gonna say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll give you little cliff notes, just based on the storyline, and you just riff off of that.
Yeah, that's why when everyone gives the Ultimate Warrior a hard time with the shit that he would say, it was just like, look, he says what he says now, and it went way off the rails, but it's just like, but at least it was just like, all right, this is what he's saying, and it didn't matter. To everybody that was a little kid at that point, it was just like, I don't know what he just said, but I just know that he's fighting this dude. This is gonna be crazy. He's gonna come out and shake the ropes, and it's gonna be a good time. And it's just like, he's somebody that you couldn't direct. Like if Ultimate Warrior existed in this time, You know what I mean? Like they couldn't direct him to say anything because he's so far out. And then there's other people that like Jake Roberts. It's like you don't want to direct him because he got it all up here. He's just gonna let it out.
Yeah.
That's why like Bray Wyatt says the same thing. That's why his promos get kind of all over the place. But he still like he knows what he's saying, but he says things. He kind of goes in different directions, and it's just like, and he says like I don't. He's like, I don't talk about that stuff out and say like, what I think. Well, I don't go by what anyone tells me. I just know, okay, look, I'm fighting Finn Balor. I'm going to try to be spooky and creepy about it because I'm going to try to get in his head. And as long as I can get inside of your head or at least make you think differently, that's all there is to it. As long as I can make you, like kind of anticipate what I'm saying or like what's this guy all about? Because I think that's his biggest thing is like getting people to be like, what the hell is this guy? Like what is he about? Like I want to see more about this guy, what he's doing. So that's why like he was like, I look back and it's like, look at the promos that have happened, as of recent, and he was one of the best ones, and he's someone that they really really lack right now because
I felt like they dropped the ball with him too many times by having him lose many big matches.
Yeah, oh yeah, they assassinated the Fiend. Like I mean, just how WrestleMania went, like they killed the Fiend, and then the rumor is they're keeping him off TV because they want to save him until they have live crowds again, which is all right, great. But even still, it's just like
that whole stupid shit.
But they completely
let's burn this dummy body and shit. I'm like, oh, stop it.
That's fine. I don't like it, but all right. I mean, he came back though, and it's like, oh, he came back. Like,
that makes me. I love Jeff.
Not much.
It makes me wish that they burnt. If they should have burnt Kane back then in the Inferno matches, man. I mean, instead of getting his hand burnt, instead of burn his whole body like they did the Fiend.
It's actually funny that you say like just because they never ever did go full bore with him, and it's just like who would be more afraid of fire than him? Like that's his story.
Yeah,
so, yeah. To have somebody go ahead and go all that way with him, like that would have been amazing. But they just they weren't. I guess like they just didn't have that plan for him. They were just like, no, he's a big dude's gonna smash it out. Cut from the same. Yeah, he is. He's 100% those guys. And I'm glad he threw in Arn Anderson because Arn Anderson, as much as people look at him as like kind of like a sidekick or whatever, he was an amazing promo. Amazing, like because he was no nonsense, straight to the point, no matter what. And he would always say, he would always sell the match. Like I don't care what match it was, he would sell it. And he would always say, like, because he would sell it and let you know that he was you had to beat him. It didn't matter if he was champion or not. You had to beat him and that he was coming for you. You had to beat me, but I'm coming for you. So don't, and the greatest thing that he used to do, even when he was when they were putting them out as faces, he would always say, be careful what you wish for because we don't wear white hats. He's like, the Horsemen are not good people. Like we'll tell you that straight out. We're not good guys. We're not good men. He's like, but the NWO has to go down, and we're the guys that are going to do it. It's like that was perfect, and he was a great promo, and he's somebody who I think needs. I mean, he gets a lot of recognition, but I don't think he gets as much as he should because of the fact with Flair.
Yeah, that I was about to say. Flair gets all the recognition because he was the champ and he cut all those crazy promos. That was good, but Arn was like the guy that he spoke normally, and he got his point across real well. Like you don't want to mess with the Four Horsemen, especially when Arn Anderson is telling you that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yep. And that's what made him special.
Yeah,
Chef, what is going on, man?
Not much. I guess what I did is I went to go see, and guess what I finished today.
Finish the run?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right there.
I got.
Yeah, last book.
Nice.
Yeah, the run is done, completely done.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Gotta give you the clap, man.
Yeah, I got the whole run, so.
Gotta give you the clap, man. That is awesome, bro. You complete that whole run.
Yep. The only thing is that the 112 is still at CGC. It's getting graded right now, so. Yeah.
You'll get that back in like November of next year. Like I guess magazine's taking crazy amount of time. Like according to that, because him and Two Brothers, they went ahead and they sent out their stuff for the Turtles, and they sent that out in like January or something like that, and it just came back to them.
This 112 has been off long. I think longer than those two's Turtle stuff. It's been it's been way longer than that, man. So I think since Hialeah sent the first batch of books, that's when the first batch to get graded.
That's amazing though. That's really, really good. I'm really proud that that's awesome to finish off a run, especially that run too.
The ironic thing is Steve started me on the run and Steve finished me on the run. That's what's funny.
See, there you go.
Yeah,
that's good stuff right there.
Yeah,
full circle.
AOK'd me the first Vampy magazine, and then he finished the run. Yeah, that's what's more surprising of that. So.
What was awesome with that too is that they came out with that facsimile. What was it, last year, the year before?
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just like I looked at it and I was just like, I tried my best not to just because I was like I couldn't spend too much money. So I'm like, I mean, it's a facsimile and it was great, and I had to fight myself because I'm like, I just don't get the money for it right now, and I knew, going in that that was going to be a facsimile.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna have the money for this issue.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, seeing the prices for that one, man, I'm like, hell.
Because that's an amazing cover too, and you think back on the time when that came out, it's just like it says so much about the artist that came out with some of those things.
Well, ironically, that wasn't gonna be the original cover. Sean, you've seen the annual before, right?
Yeah, I seen the annual.
Yeah, that was originally supposed to be the cover one.
That's crazy.
So
that's really crazy.
So James Warren had two to pick from: Frazetta or the guy that's nobody knows.
Yeah,
that's who he went with. He went with Frazetta.
Yep. But that's the way that goes, man. You got to go with the name recognition, the guy that you probably paid more to do it.
Right.
So it's just like, you know what? We'll say this for the annual, and all of a sudden it comes up like people see the annual like that was supposed to be the original cover. Man, you messed up.
Yeah. and that was supposed to be the original, and then another thing is Warren didn't like the story in issue 1.
Exactly. Especially when you got runs that got big key issues.
Yeah.
It's like I know people trying to complete the Fantastic Four run, and most of the hard issues are the first 15 issues or something like that.
Oh yeah. Those
first 10 issues.
And any of those runs from old stuff, so any of the big runs like that, try to complete Amazing Spider-Man 1 through 10, that in itself is a challenge.
Yeah. So when I start upgrading some of these, guess who's getting the other one?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So then moving on to Puff. So when I get my upgrade, the down, the lower grade ones going to Puff, but it's still at least.
Hey, I'm fine with that, man.
Yeah.
Hey, any grade is better than no grade, man.
Right.
Yep. Exactly.
And I got the VB signed book from.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I got that too, man. Did you look inside it? Did you look inside it?
I haven't looked inside just yet, but I know it's I know there's something written inside of it, and I'm waiting on. He's still in the chat.
Open it while he's in the chat, man. Because I'm gonna show mine first, then you show yours.
Yeah.
Because VB is actually in this issue.
Yeah.
Jim Balin had drawn him in this issue, so I gotta make sure I don't show the naughty pages. So this is him being dragged by that pumpkin monster. I call him Sam Hain. And then he put there, can someone call the Ghostbusters?
Hold on, let me find that page. And like you said, don't show the naughty stuff.
Yep.
It should be that hard to find it. There we go, found it. Yeah, I flipped a little too far. There we go. It's all in the reflexes. That's what mine says.
It's all in the reflexes, and that's a reference to Vampy. So
yeah,
that's funny, man. That's cool. I was looking to the chat, and what Dusty was saying. He's talking about he's in the same boat with the Uncanny X-Men. It's just I would say. I mean, who isn't in that boat? You know what I'm saying? if you're trying to collect, the whole run of that, good luck. It's just,
but
I think you kind of have to have a
I said, if it wasn't for Steve, I wouldn't have had an issue 1. If it wasn't for Steve, and if it wasn't for you and Steve, I wouldn't have a 113 either. Because
hey, that's what we're about, man. Helping out each other,
Yep.
That's the best thing.
I know when it comes to those runs, man, it's just like, sometimes you have to reach out because it's like, just at least let people know. And I think a lot of people kind of just internally, like, I'd like to collect this. Sometimes if you just say it out loud enough time, or just in general, if you just say it out, someone's like, yeah, I got this. Like, and then maybe it's not something that someone's holding on to. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Right. So that's the best thing to do, man. Is that's what this community is about. Is you got plenty of people that you might just have to say, hey, really want to finish off this run of whatever, and it's just like, what, well, I got one of those.
I got an idea for this facsimile.
You got it.
Yeah. I got an idea for this facsimile because Sarah's gonna be at a signing. Sarah and Clayton Crane's gonna be at a signing. I was gonna have Sarah sign this one, just because it's the facsimile, because it's Sarah Frazetta, so it's Frazetta's it's granddaughter. So
that's cool. I would do that.
Yeah, her bloodline. You know what I mean? It's her bloodline that actually did the cover, so it's not like it's not the person.
Yeah. No, it's definitely cool.
Yeah,
I definitely want to shout out the G-Man, Robert Galvin.
You guys got them all. Excellent.
Yes, man.
VV's the man. Yeah, VV said in mine, he says,
hey,
no one, what did it say? I can't even freaking read it.
No one likes redheads.
no one says dead to comics till they do. Anyway, That was VV. I ordered these a while back and sent them out to VV. VV sent them out back to me, and I go, I want for this person, this person, this person, this person. So awesome, VV. Thank you so much, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm left out. I don't have one of those. That's okay.
I can't wait. No, I can't wait to see Jim at another con.
Sorry, Chris.
No, don't worry about me. I'm cool.
We would have the only one to have VV and Jim's signature on them. So I can't wait to see him at a con.
Wow, that's crazy. 42 short of volume 1 of Uncanny. I'm a lot more than 42. But you know what? What I did, what I've been doing with that run is trying to. I mean, the books that I picked up over time, and then just I really wanted to get the entire Byrne the entire Byrne and Claremont run. And now I'm trying to work back to some of the pre that stuff. So the Cockrum and the Cockrum run and stuff like that. And it's just
I'm excited for that one. I'm excited for the next day. Okay, from VV.
Dusty C was short X-Men books.
Yeah, he said 42 issues.
Dusty, you got issue 26.
That's nice. I like that. That's a cool cover. Who's the villain on the cover? Because that looks awesome.
Looks like
26 Holocaust.
No, that's really cool. I have every issue from 91 through 540.
44.
Jeez.
44.
I'm all over the place.
So you don't have anything lower than that?
He's going to check.
Yeah,
I think the lowest X-Men I have is 34, I think.
Sorry, I got to do this. I don't see Dusty very often. I don't see him in the chats. Dusty, if you don't have it, it's yours.
Nice.
Okay.
There you go.
Awesome, man.
See?
All yours, buddy. Okay.
That's a badass cover too, man.
Your name is on it. Dusty serenaded my wife, so hey.
Oh, there you go. That's cool.
He's a man.
I'll send him an invite. I know he usually be busy on Saturdays.
Yeah, I took a ride out to a shop, and they had Jim Shooter there.
Today?
Did you get a sickness?
Yeah, today.
You get a sig?
Nah, because I was the sig. They didn't start until noon. They just opened at 11, so we took a walk around because I wanted to take a ride out to that shop because that's where Sarah and Clayton Crane were gonna be. So I wanted to see how far the ride was.
Yo, Steve.
What's happening, everybody?
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
My brother started me on the run, and my brother finished me on the run. That's what.
There it is.
Yeah. So,
The infamous 46. That'll be a trivia question. What book finished the run for Jeff Vampirella?
yeah. And that's
How you doing, Steve-O?
Good, man. I got, as you can see, I got the book from VV.
You got it too, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you open it inside?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what the quote say?
Can you A-OK me an extra life?
Way to go.
See if I can go to it.
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah, that's funny as hell.
That's awesome.
Man. When I seen that shit made me laugh.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome, man. I love it.
That's cool.
Thanks
That's
for
really
Robert and VV. Robert said,
Oh, you're welcome, buddy. No problem.
signing it,
Thank you, BB.
getting it.
Yeah, I just sent VV a AOK. Just sent it out today, so hopefully he get it as quick as I got his.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and
I'm
and show the books that he got for me. You know, besides that, let me put myself back. And this is the response, Rob.
So you don't have it. Excellent. You're welcome, buddy. It's all yours.
Man, that's awesome.
All yours.
All right, he'll jump on. So VV surprised me because I thought I was going to get some Savage Dragon books. You know, he did send me the Savage Dragon books, but he shocked me by sending me these 2 issues. Issue 0 of Shadow Cabinet and issue 1.
Nice.
First appearances of Shadow Cabinet, 2 milestone issues that I did not have.
Very cool.
It's awesome to get these milestone books because these milestone books are hard to find when it comes to back issues and stuff like that. So that was pretty awesome of him. And I was missing some Savage Dragons from the hundreds because those are also hard to find in back issues. So he sent me issue 144.
Yep.
Nice.
Issue 151.
Oh wow. That's awesome.
Love the shark. Is that a shark?
Yeah, it's Mako.
Rock shark monster, huh?
Mako.
That's
Nice.
Mako. Long time Savage Dragon villain. This cover, I always like this. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Minimized. I like it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then this one is like a homage to the one he just did with the shark.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. That's awesome.
Why draw another cover when I can combine 2 into 1?
And then there's issue 154.
Nice.
They got some badass covers on Savage. I would like that run.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Harry
man.
Larson's got some great stuff.
I've always been a Larson fan, and I've been a fan of Savage Dragon since the crossover with Ninja Turtles. So thanks, shout out to VV. You know, awesome guy. He's sending me some more Savage Dragon. So
Yeah.
One thing I like about VV is he always sends the obscure stuff.
Yeah.
German
The
versions.
ones
and stuff.
you're really looking for, like the books that you really
cool
You
stuff.
can't get.
No.
Yeah, you can't get.
Send me a
see,
German
like, you
version
can-
of Fantastic
he can
Four.
find them there, but we can't find them over here.
No.
And the stuff that he can't find over there, we can get over
I'm
here.
here. Yeah. We found that book. Well, we didn't
Conan.
actually. Jim found that book
Yeah,
for
Conan.
in like a week.
Yeah, that's what we talk about. Just helping each other out, man. We helped out Jeff finishing that Vampy run. You know, he's BV helping me with the Savage Dragon. I'm sending BV 2 books that, you know, are Robert E. Howard comics that he never seen before. So
Shoot,
you know,
Robert sent me an X-Men 6.
Oh, yeah.
Lucky I got that before Dusty showed up, baby.
Well, I'll show you the X-Men you're not getting that I just got. I'm really happy about this.
You said the X-Men you're not getting?
nice.
I love it.
Love this. Friggin' sweet. 9.6. I just got this.
Is that
Awesome.
164?
Yep. 164.
Awesome.
I got one
Sweet.
somewhere that's going to get graded.
Beautiful, beautiful book. So happy to have that back in my collection. Then my
I'm gonna tell him if mine comes back a 9.6, will you put it at a 9.6.1 so it'll be higher than Robert's?
So I'm happy to get this. I did not get this graded yet. I have the Virgin of it. So now you got to have, if you have the Virgin and if you really like something, you got to have the trade dress as well.
I love the trade dresses because I don't know what the damn book is. Oh yeah, that's fire as hell.
Well, I got that 9.8. The silver black, so I'm very happy with that.
That's the black. All right, I was about to say like no.
Silver black. Yep.
Yeah.
The homage. Yep.
Yeah, I'm chasing.
That's my next big boy book, the real one. That's.
I've been looking, and really like I'm kind of at a loss because I don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm chasing that. I've been chasing for a few years that and Spider-Man 50, and it's like
Spider-Man 50 is hard, man. That damn book is all beat up. And then when you see a good one, it's thousands of dollars.
Exactly, and it's just so it's like if I had to choose one, I'm going with 50. But it's just like, but every time I come back and I look at the price for the Silver Surfer 4, man, that thing is climbing like crazy.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Every time you see a book you passed up, you're like, damn it, man, I should have got that. Now look at it.
Yep.
So I've been getting into this Internals kick. You either like it, you don't. I like it. I love it. But this is some of the newer stuff. I got a hold on 321 when it came out, Ultimate Comics exclusive by Joe Gisco.
Oh,
I got this bad boy. What was it? No, I did not deflower it. I wore my gloves. I kept that in pristine condition. It's going to be graded, VV. I'm going to have that graded.
That's an awesome.
I got the Virgin cover of this as well.
That's cool.
I've always liked Gisco anyways. Yeah.
See, I never saw that.
Yeah, I've saw interviews with Gisco already.
That was pretty nice.
I might reach out to him and ask him for an interview.
Just awesome. Yeah. Like he's the guy that did all the Marvel Masters.
Joe Romero Jr. 9.6
nice.
Internals.
We saw Shooter today, man.
Did you?
To be where we went, I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Damn, man! If I knew y'all was gonna see Shooter, I would have came down there today, man.
Yeah.
Damn, we didn't know. We didn't know. Jeff sprung this on me and said, "Hey, man, jump in. We're hauling ass far away, and took me to a new galaxy in Newport Richie."
So one of my buddies,
Y'all went to Newport Richie?
Hell yeah! It was an hour drive from my house, so Sean, you drove here and jumped in with us. We'd have rode out in the sport mode, baby.
That's funny. Yeah. See, his Puff sitting there like, we're gonna meet. Just shoot. Puff's like, pass. I got to meet him in April. He came into the con that we went to.
Man, he's a big dude, man. I was surprised.
Yeah.
See, Jeff, I don't know how you do it, buddy. Getting all the new books, it drives me insane. So I just buy. I've culled my list down like considerably because I can't spend money on good books like that. Yeah. So I've been buying like reprints so I can read them.
Yeah.
Like I've been trying to get 1 through 7 right now. I think it is the Dune House of Atreides. This is really a good read.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
And this stupid like stuff like this that pops up. Bunny Mask.
That's awesome. I love that shit.
It was great. It was great.
That crazy
was great.
Buddy, I gotta have that cover, man.
It's awesome, buddy. And then the other one from DC, I was happy to see a DC title. I'm loving this. I'm definitely going to get on the bandwagon on this one. House by the Lake. Love this.
Oh yeah, yeah, because that's more type shit.
Yeah, everybody was big on that. Like that's been on the top 10 list.
Man, just like
I've been wanting to get them Stray Dogs because
Stray Dogs is so good.
Stray Dogs yet.
I'm curious what that doing.
Jeff, so go to Nerd Out. Jeff, see if he's got 1 through 5. Any of those?
Yeah, oh man, that other one. Y'all see this one though, man?
That's a cool one.
Oh my god,
nice, buddy. That's cool. The horror covers are awesome. They actually make the reprints with the Thing, I think, on them too.
Yeah, man. I still need to get that one with the Thing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Hey, you like it too, right, Sean? Stray Dogs.
Oh yeah, I think this is the last issue, so I'm kind of sad.
It's only 5 issues. I want to get them real quick before they jump up through the goddamn roof again.
Yeah.
Money. Oh, huh. Yeah,
that's
a lot
of reasons. The only reason I pick up some of the books is sometimes Tim goes, you might want to pick this up.
Yeah,
I've listened to him a couple of times.
It's ridiculous. It's like I did my pull list for August, pre-order for August.
Hey, that's why Jeff's got 1 through 10 of Something is killing the children.
Yeah, because of Tim. Tim goes, you might want to pick this book up, and I'm glad I did.
I got the first 10
Don't
issues.
listen to Perry Comics, whatever you do. He told me Cantu was going to be no good, and he wouldn't pick the book up.
I keep finding his damn books in my box. What's his name? What's the hero he likes? Lobo.
Lobo.
Oh, Lobo.
I keep coming across Lobo, and I keep thinking of him right away.
So
I sent him the real weird variant one.
So I'll go ahead and show my whole because I went to my shop today.
Yeah.
I got Static Shock.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought of you as soon as I saw it.
This was the last one at my shop, so I was fortunate enough to grab it.
Nice.
If you wasn't able to find it, I would have gave you mine anyways.
Got Catwoman number 32.
They did the.
I ain't even got the variant to it, but I don't really care no more.
Right.
Because DC and their $5, $6 prices on their variants.
It's an homage to Jim Valiant's.
I know. I loved it, and if they would have passed my pull, I would have got it. But I'm not sweating it no more. Of course, I'm still on that.
If you don't got it, I know
my language.
Steve knows a spot that has it. You already know where Gray Street. I'm gonna hit up Gray Street.
Is that Lady J in the front with the metal arm?
No, that's not.
Okay, I was making sure. I was like, Lady J lost her arm?
It's a new character.
Okay.
This is the next issue.
Oh, nice. Jinx on the
cover. I got to catch up with my G.I. Joe. I haven't read it since that Snake Hunt storyline, so I got to catch up with it.
Yeah, I haven't read in a long time just because I stopped collecting new issues. I've just been doing back issues. So
I just stick with the Larry Hama run. Like I don't buy the other G.I. Joe series.
Just out of curiosity, you guys, did you see that they're bringing out Miles Morales' annual #1?
Is that the one where he's dressed like
a new costume?
Yeah, but there's 2 different covers for it. There's a wraparound and the regular one that's coming out in August.
Is that the Captain America one?
No, first annual for Miles Morales' Spider-Man.
All right, because I know there's one where he's got like the Puerto Rican flag and he's
hint.
Shield.
Buy a couple bucks.
All right. Actually, you know what's one? I don't know what number it was.
John, buy a couple. I want to read this damn book. I want to read this. I have to get the reprints of it and read it, or either I get the trade.
Yeah, because the issue 1 raw, I saw what some of them sold for. Issue 1 raw sold for like 1,000 almost.
That's insane. Raw. I'm sorry, not for a modern book. I have a problem with that. Now there's Linzer love. Linzer right there, buddy. Yes.
You feel like Peggy Bundy a little bit.
Dude, that's awesome. What did you say?
Feels like Peggy Bundy a little bit.
No, not really. That's Don all the way through in the face.
Perillo. Wow, that's a nice cover.
I got the opposite. I got a Ben Oliver one.
I'm trying not to buy these variants. That's how Dynamite get our money.
Yeah,
get all those damn variants, man. I know VV. Most of his pull is variants of Van Brother and Red Sonja. I'm trying I need to avoid those variants, man.
Yeah, me too.
How is this, Sean? How is this book?
I still enjoy it. It's a slow burn, but it's been picking up lately, so definitely gotta read that. And I shown this, and I got the. All right, so here's the thing with Marvel Voices.
I was curious about this too.
I didn't read it, but
on it.
it's the city quality paper.
I figured.
And you got DC got the car stock ones. Yep. Both of these books are $10.
What?
I should have just chose the DC one because at least you get a better card stock paper quality on the cover. Whereas Marvel give you shitty paper quality, the shit gets stuck to your fingers and it might just fall apart right there. So
wow.
But I want to give the Marvel one a try, just to give it a read. But
Steve, do you hear what I said?
Hint,
hint. I'm talking really low. I'm trying to make this look like a secret when it's live. Okay. Make sure you pick up at least 2 or 3 copies of the new Spider-Man Miles Morales Annual 1 and 2. The first one. They have 2 different covers for it.
Did it just come out?
It's come out in August.
Okay.
His first annual. Take them, and just put them away.
If you make me take 10 covers, 10 copies. Oh, sorry, it's a shit book, Steve. My bad.
You want to know me?
I forget what book it was, but they did like they had a variant or whatever, and it was like the Marvel cards, like like the old school.
Yep.
Those ones are sick, but they sold out like instantly. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So Miles is hot property.
Sean, did you guys check out? Hang on. Let me see if I can find it.
Got who that in the house?
Oh, who that, buddy? What's
Yo,
up?
what up? Who that?
I know he'll be down here in Florida. Still gotta find out if the day is good for him or not. But
all blacked out.
Oh, Betty Page.
He's naked.
Oh, Betty Page.
Yeah, naked. Another bunny mask.
Yeah,
And the one I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah, he has to go find it. probably next to his bed.
If he goes behind the curtain, you never know what's coming out.
Yeah.
This. I love this. I love this. If you guys haven't checked this out, you got to read it. Dude, this is so good. I'm disappointed it's just a one shot, but here's how I see it. I've seen a couple other companies doing this, and they've been taking like a hero like Hulk and putting him on the cover and then creating a monster stories in the inside. And it's kind of got a little bit of a Hulk feel in it, like the characters and the monsters do, but it's not what you think. I was impressed. They need to do stuff like this. I'm sorry, this is like I'm getting a real backlash of like old classic DC horror mixed in with a little bit of Marvel. That's what they're trying to do. But dude, give this a shot, you guys. If you find it, just give it a shot. It's good. It's really good. Community members shouted this out to me a while back, and I'm like, I'm gonna pick it up, and it is good.
Yeah, I think Jen was the one that shouted it out. I think.
No, it wasn't Jen. I can't remember the lady's name. I have to look it up.
Yeah.
Well, if I ever come across it, I'll grab it.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I think you'll like it, you guys.
Because I haven't read Immortal Hulk. I read the first 3 trades, but then I kind of fell off of it.
Right. Me too.
No, it wasn't bad. Like I was enjoying the story, but I got caught up with other things. And
of course,
we all did.
This really isn't like it. Incredible Hulk, or in any of that. You're gonna find it very interesting. Starts off in Jordan, 3,500 BC. That's all I'm gonna say. It's good. It's definitely good. And the artwork, great. It was great work. I like those random things of a little bit of love for certain genres. So that was pretty cool.
I've been slacking
Chris,
so much making videos.
What's that?
Chris, you got any books to share?
Yeah, actually, I was just getting to that. I was like, so it's funny because I've been saying on probably like the last 3 hunts. So that makes it like 6 weeks. I gotta start the show. I'll make a video, and just get so busy with work and everything right now that I just haven't had time. So I have a bunch of stuff, but I show it just because let me see.
This is way funner, Chris. You get to show it without doing a lot of work, baby. You just get to show the books.
No, this is cool because I'm trying to think. Where is it? Hold on. So this actually came today. Yeah. So it's kind of a beat up copy, but this is at Hulk 22. So that's the first time that they actually team up outside of outside of actual She-Hulk #1. And then all right, don't crucify me if this spec doesn't come true because it just is what it is. But I was like, I'm just kind of chilling, and I'm like, you know what? I can't get that first appearance of Spider-Woman. I just can't. I have Spider-Woman #1, which is awesome, but it's just like that Marvel Spotlight 32. I just can't get my hands on right now. So, one to keep an eye on just in case, or a couple to keep an eye on is, so this Marvel 2-in-1 here. This is the second cameo of Spider-Woman. So good to pick up, nice and cheap for the moment. And then I actually ended up getting 2 of these. So this is, I guess, her actual second appearance. So
that's
Marvel,
the one I have.
Yeah, I have that too. Both of them actually.
So 2-in-1, 29 and 30. Like, go get those.
All those 2-in-1s. Those are awesome.
And then I got another one of these because the one that I have is been sent out to get graded, and it's probably gonna be a while. So, but I was just like, you know what? This is a badass cover. I'm gonna get it. So it's a Virgin variant of G.I. Joe.
That's badass.
That's slick.
So I got one. getting graded, and then I have this one. Just hopefully when things kind of calm down a little more, I'll send it out again, just because it's a cool cover. But man, I have like I said, I got a bunch of stuff that I haven't shown. So.
Who that? When you go,
awesome.
what day you gonna?
Actually, I'll show you these ones too, because I just picked these up. So I was just kind of looking into. I've kind of gotten into a kick of kind of the offshoot titles a little bit, and I remember I've been picking up the Eternals over time, so I have a pretty decent amount of Volume 1, and then I started looking into Invaders just because everybody.
Yeah, the Invaders got good
I like
colors,
Invaders as well.
Yeah. So I got
Nice.
Invaders number 5, and then Invaders number 6, which is I think it's some team, I forget what the team
Chris,
is.
don't some of those have the price variant too? The 25 cent and the 30 cent on some of those books that's around there.
Yep. So this one's still only 25. So I think I don't think this is I think the 30% is the one that you want.
Yeah, the 30. It usually comes with that little jaggedy top. The
little peanut butter cup thing.
Yep, looks like a little peanut butter cup around there with some lightning bolts. Strike your wallet with.
Yep.
And then stick with Spider Woman. This one's crazy. The hair that they have on this girl is crazy, but I picked up number 50. That photo cover. So
that is nice there.
Yeah.
That Spider-Woman one has some really good cover art.
Yeah. I mean, especially the one with Spider-Man on the cover is a good one. And then it's funny too, because there's not a ton of first appearances in those ones, but like they do have that Siren's first appearances, and I forget which one. I think it's like 19.
I still want the Spider-Woman issue with Werewolf by Night, and they got all the Universal monsters in the background. I still want to get that.
That is what is it, issue number 6 or something like that? I forget. But like, I mean, it's just like, it's funny, but it's just like kind of going off that beaten path, just because I try to get my top books, and then I'm just like, you know what, that Silver Surfer run is not gonna, it's not gonna end itself. So I'm like, I'm trying to get those.
That's right.
And
That's
just,
my next big boy book out of there. Out of that, then I'm gonna grab all the rest of 18 of them.
That's so I'm right now, like what I've been chasing for a while, and like people alluded to earlier, I messed up because I definitely should have went ahead and picked up 14 a couple years ago. Now I can't get it because Spider-Man's on the cover, and everyone's like, so every time I go into an auction on eBay, it's in the price range, way out of the price range by the time it's done. I'm like, damn it. Yep. So I keep trying to get those, but I'm trying to get that run all together, just because if they say Silver in a Marvel movie or trailer, it's over. If there's anything having to do with him, you won't be able to get any of those. So I'm trying to pick those up, and then just those other Bronze Age titles, because they're starting to get heat. Some of them, it's just like, because people realize that there's a lot of first appearances in those things. Just like like I completed my G.I. Joe run and my Transformers run. I want to say, was it last year? And it was just like I had been working on those for a while, but it was just like I was just like, I just want to have these for myself. And now it's just like people go back, it's just like, how many first appearances are in those books? Yeah. And it's the same thing. You look at Invaders, Champions, Eternals, all those ones have tons of first appearances, tons of different characters that can show up. So it's just like, it all just depends on which way they're going to go with them.
Wow. A lot of those books, first appearances. That's why it's always good to try and get them, look up eBay midnight deals or something like that.
Yeah.
You never know. It might fall in your lap one day or another, man.
Hold on, time out. What does that say next to Dusty's name, Sasquatch?
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well.
Sasquatch Hunter.
A little known fact about me, man. I am a huge fan of cryptids. There's this, and I recommend everybody. There's no commercials on it. I actually downloaded it off of YouTube. It's called The Mysterious Monsters. And what's his name? The guy from Peter, I can't remember his last name. He was on Mission Impossible.
Okay.
The main guy on Mission Impossible. I can't.
Peter Graves?
Peter Graves. He's hosting it. Called The Mysterious Monsters. Man, I love that kind of stuff. I've been watching Sasquatch and Bigfoot related stuff for like.
Oh, I watch all that. Hey, I watch it all.
Bigfoot's really popular up here, Big Al.
I want to go on an expedition and find his ass because you can be rich.
Have you ever seen the show? Have you ever seen the show, Dusty, where they're like, they hear a, they go, that was definitely a squad.
Yeah.
That's Finding Bigfoot. Yeah, it's got this dude on there. I can't remember his name, but
I'm a squatch.
Bigfoot exists.
That was definitely a squatch yell.
Definitely a squatch yell. You see that squatch scat over there, man? That's his poop. You know, like, come on. How can you differentiate some Sasquatch poop from human poop? Like, I don't know. Like, what's different about it? So what's going on, guys? Hey, check this out. Y'all don't know nothing about this dude.
Godzilla. That's my boy Ultraman. Oh no, that's
Jaguar.
Jaguar. Damn, I thought that was Ultraman.
Yeah, man. So how's everybody today?
Good.
Oh, having a rousing time, man.
Great.
Yeah, I was listening to when Puff, when you and Chris were talking about the wrestling and all that. I was trying to get my base, send my cards off. I made it into the queue and was able to send a couple cards off.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'll listen to it on my way up there and back.
Yeah.
Nice. What cards you send off, Steve?
I sent off a Johnny Bench signature card. It just was a cool looking ass card. And what else did I send off? Golly. One other card. I don't remember what the other one is. I have to think on it a second. I got so damn many of them. I don't know what I sent off. I got my orders are saved, so I go back to my orders and go, oh, that's right. I did send that off. I know one of them is the Johnny Bench card. That was the main one. I want to say I sent off maybe a Evans rookie card patch. I'm not sure if I sent what I sent, man. You can pay them back here. Look, I got this many. I want to get maybe graded.
Jesus.
Box back there.
Sometimes I forget what I got.
Damn, Steve.
I got a bunch of them, man, that I would like to get graded, but
that's only one box.
Up so high, you got to get now and be frugal, or you'll go broke. I just added up what I've sent in cards for the last like 3 or 4 months. It's like $1,000-something. I could have had a Grail comic book, man. I'm like, I probably shouldn't have sent none of these. I should have saved that money.
You should have. You would have had closer to. Not really, but $1,000 closer to the.
Yeah, $1,000 closer to any damn thing.
Yeah.
But I got some cool cards.
So Al.
Yes.
When I talked earlier about the community helping each other out, and Robert G asked you the question about what X-Men book you needed, and he put up that X-Men 26, and he said it's yours. This is what I'm talking about. You know, we just get together, help each other out.
Yep.
Say, hey, I got an extra copy or something like that. It's yours. You know, I got VV some books that I want to send him, and he had books to send me, man. And that's the great thing about this community, man. We're just helping each other out. So I'm glad that you was able to get a book from the G-Man, X-Men 26, to help you out on that X-Men run, man.
Well, I mean, you know, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Some of y'all are a lot better than people that I know in real life.
Shoot, that's for all of us, for real.
Yeah.
You meet people like that, you're like, damn, it's crazy.
Like, I wish, like, honestly, I wish a lot of y'all, like, we live within, like, driving distance. Be like, hey, Rob, man, you want to grab a beer somewhere?
Hell yeah.
You know, hey, Steve, man, there's a taco truck downtown, man. You want to grab a taco?
You know, we're going to take that time machine back and get that.
Hey, I'm working on the parts for that, man. I don't
you
know how many
need anything.
But yeah, man, the comic book community, people that I've met, man, are nothing short of awesome, man. Like, for real. And that statement that I made, Steve, about you deserve it.
I was just kidding with you.
I know. I'm
because
saying,
he already had sent me that before.
I
sent you the ones I sent you.
You can't debo all the books. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would love for people to just, hey, man, you know, you need X-Men 4? Like, hell yeah, I need X-Men 4. I mean, I know, but I appreciate that. And this is the thing. I try to, I'm actually working, because I got an A-OK for you, and I got an A-OK for G-Man. I got some stuff for Sean
Cool.
I don't know what you like, Jeff, because you got the full run of
I like.
I mean, I can send you some Alpha Flight. You know, I like
Naked body.
We were talking about that today. Jeff's like, man, what am I gonna do? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
We'll find something. We'll get him something.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Jeff. And by the way, man, I'm gonna get on your show one day, man. Most times when your show up runs, I'm at work, man.
No, you're cool.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get on there one day and make an appearance.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I'm trying to get on.
How did you feel?
That shit comes on so late, I can't make it.
You know, normally I'm up that late.
I always watch a replay.
I'm normally up that late, but I'm watching while I'm working. So, but how did you feel when you got that very last book in your hand? Did you feel like crying? Would you sigh relief?
What? Well, two things. The funniest thing is Steve started me on this run, and Steve finished me on this run. That's what's funny. Because if I actually picked this book up at Emerald City with Sean, this wouldn't have been as good as this issue right here. You know what I mean? It wouldn't
just
have been,
means that much more to you now.
Yeah, it means way more.
Hey, you said you had one left and you told me the number. I was at our place, we go eat. I was like, let me go look, man. There was like 4 of them. They all looked good. I said, damn.
But Jeff, I don't think you get the gist of the question though. When you had that book in your hand, did you shed a tear of joy?
Yeah, I did.
It's like Kill Bill.
Inside, yeah.
Hey, I looked over there. He was doing like this, Sean.
Exactly what I'll do when I have all sorts.
And let me just say this, Jeff. I'm not trying to be funny, man, because I know from the runs that I've actually finished, you know, the Alpha Flight and X Factor, those. It was a sense of satisfaction when I got that very last book. And it's like, man, I could honestly say I've completed this run. Because, you know, I'm a run collector. I mean, I collect keys, but I'm also a run collector, which is my quest for that Uncanny X-Men. Right. So, man, I don't know, like, my biggest accomplishment that most of y'all know is the Uncanny run. Right. Man, I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably do a live show and just cry. Y'all see my big grown ass man like just saying, I like to thank everybody. Like,
that's like my friend Kyle Walker. He's
cool.
guy.
Yeah,
and
cool.
he same deal. He's just like, you know, I forget how many he actually needs, but like X-Men 1 is one of them. And he's got a whole plan of like what he's gonna do as far as like how to get it. But he's just like, you know, same deal. He's just been chasing it and chasing it and chasing it.
And it keeps going up and up and up.
And that's the thing. He's like, I don't care what, like, I mean, he did out the math. He's like, I think with this, I can probably buy like at highest, probably like a 2.0. So now he's like, he doesn't care about condition. He's just like, you know what? I'm just going for this book.
Yeah, and, you get one of you upgrade as over time if you have to.
Like I said, when I start upgrading the collection, some of those upgrade, you know, the other ones are going to Sean.
Sean will be like, I found a good book for you over here, Jeff. Oh, send me that second copy, baby.
This is the crazy thing about X-Men. Like, you know, there's no secret. Sean knows, you know, we on the Comic Hall. I hate current day speculation. I hate it with a passion. Mm-hmm. I hate it so much. If it was a human being, he might be in jail for manslaughter. Like, I hate it. I hate speculation because, like somebody just said when Boston Chris was talking about those Bronze Age and stuff, and we said it on the show, on Comic Hall show, any book in your collection is subject to be a key at some point in time.
Oh yeah, right. Big time. Absolutely.
And it's a situation where if you are a collector, if you've been in it for a while, wow, that's what's up, man.
Damn, 4 books. So he needs number 1 we know of.
Well, I know Kyle finally paid off his mortgage, so that's where his money's going to be going to.
Exactly.
I hope to be in your shoes in about a year or two, hopefully. But I mean, it's crazy. And with Uncanny, like the X-Men, I really feel sorry for people that's getting into the game now. Unless you just you got a rich dad or mom or something. It's rough, man, because a lot of the back issues, like the book that you're gonna AOK for me, Robin. Thank you very much for that, man. Those books are cheap.
No, ain't nothing. Spider-Man's today. They were all
yeah.
40, $50.
Yeah.
Every one of them. And they
Yeah.
were like, some of them were,
See, that's where I have a problem. when it comes to
122,
spec
150,
game.
200.
Like when
They
it
were
comes to
all
spec game,
expensive.
for example, like I was just saying earlier, it's like any of those modern books are like $1,000. That's just retarded. To me, that's just stupid.
Well,
That's
that's the thing. It's just like, you talk about any Spider-Man key. So even if you're looking at Spider-Man back issues, I mean, you're talking minimum $20, minimum $20 anywhere within there. And then it's like, and if it's a key on top of that, now it's getting to be like minimum 200.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, you want like I want to get a
Roman.
I'm trying to get a 122. 122.
Uncle Roman
went up.
Yeah, on eBay, 122 is a $400 all day. And it's just like, I mean, yeah, I want to get it, but it's just like, but I start thinking about the bigger books that I want to get that are on my list. I'm just like, I mean, yeah, it'd be good to get that for 400, but it's just like, I get a couple of them that are like 1,000. It's just like, dude, I gotta save up for these. I can't just be, buying willy nilly.
Yeah, even lower grade Bampies too, man. Lower grade Bampy ones.
It's crazy.
It's
like any series that has any sort of heat or any sort of popularity with, it's just like, you're gonna be paying like I would say like that whole Byrne and Claremont run is starting to skyrocket, and then the Cochran ones right before that, so like 94 to like 103 is all going up actually, because then you have like 104 and everything. So everything Starjammers is going up. Everything. I mean, Phoenix is like through the roof right now.
All of those, all those, even up to 130. Man, all them damn books going up.
Actually, a lot of them. Like I've noticed that a lot of the books from the '90s, when Claremont and Jim Lee were on the team, like Jubilee's book, Bishop's book, all those books are going through the roof now, man. And it's like people. The whole thing is like MCU. Well,
like you just said, that speculation just even does it more. Hey, look how bad Dark Phoenix was, the movie. Ooh. It didn't affect the book.
No,
the book said, we don't care what you do. I'm still going up.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. It's just like, you look at it, it's like, especially those X-Men, like X-Men, Fantastic Four, and I would say even like, I mean, Spider-Man never really had a bad turn in movies, really. But it's like, you look at those and it's like, no, they're coming to the MCU.
Fantastic Four movies were terrible. And the books still shoot through the roof.
And it's just like, Ghost Rider doesn't have a movie at all yet. But I mean, try getting Ghost Rider books. You know what I mean? Like, those are crazy. And it's funny because people are like, oh, people are funny because, like, especially people that are, I guess, either newer or they wanted to get in that spec game. Because, like, you got to get on this book before it gets hot. It's like, yeah, welcome to 2014. People were saying that way back then about Marvel Spotlight #5. It's just like, you missed that train a long time ago. So it's just like, and now it's the same thing. Yeah, if you got a rich uncle or something like that, then maybe you'll get that book. But if you don't,
because hey Chris, I saw a Marvel Spotlight 592 like a couple weeks ago. 10 grand. 10 grand.
It's just
right.
Like,
so I said, damn, that's high. So I went and looked. I saw one listed like the other day for 17.
Yeah.
Everything's
nuts. Everything is nuts right now, whether you got a spec or not. And it's just like, in certain cases, like, so some things I'm okay with, like Marvel, like, go try to get in this dude, fine. You look at, like, I mean, first Moon Knight, forget it. First Moon Knight's gonna get to the point. I mean, it's already gotten to the point where it's like, like you gotta be into something good to get one of those. But now, like, with the show coming out, forget it. Like that's gonna.
It'll never. If the show's even decent, if it's good, or great, you can forget it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it'll never overtake like Hulk 181, but it's definitely gonna stay up there. Like it's not gonna come down, and it always had exponential growth. But it's just like that's one that's not going nowhere. And it's just like and there's a lot of books because now it's like, okay, so now all right, can't get 32. Let me look at 33, his second appearance. That's starting to jump out.
People figured that one out.
I think the 32 is gonna have room to grow from 180 where 181's sitting at now. I think that 32 is gonna grow a little more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And then you look at like, what's it called? So you can't get the 32, get the 33. Can't get the 33. Well, let's get 36. Look at 37. That's his third appearance. That's starting to get out of control too. And then the Spotlight with his first solo story and everything. And then was it Moon Knight #1 starting to get it's just crazy. I finished that run. That one I was like, I have to get done this year easy, because I was like, if I don't, like, even though they're not hardcore crazy keys, you watch and see when they start pulling characters from within that series. Like it's gonna get out of control. And then though I would say another one is that those Stephen Platt issues. Like 55 is up there, 57 is up there. The other ones you can get pretty manageably. Like you can get the other ones for I would say under $20 if you know where to look.
Those are the Ghost Riders going up too. The Plume, the 8, 9, and 10, and all them. Them suckers, man. Them people love them covers, man. I was noticing they were expensive this weekend, last weekend.
Yeah. Because everybody's thinking, and so it's funny because Dusty brought it up, like, you know, you have to. I don't know if you have to, but I say like a lot of people get that love-hate relationship with speculation because on the one hand, it's like if it's a book that you don't have, you're like, God damn. But if it's a book you do have, like, oh, all right.
You're like, hell yeah.
I forget what book it was. I saw something. There was a book that I had seen that someone posted recently, and I'm like, shit, $400. I was like, I have that. Like, and it's just, you know, you go back and you look at things, and it's just like, oh, like I could get that, you know. Like I bought that for like $5. It's cool. You know, it's just like
my Moonlights. Here's an example. Like Scott Barr, he got my Moonlight. I gave it to him as an A-OK, but it's like here's the thing. When it comes to this whole spec thing, and I'm noticing a pattern. It's like if you have it, you have it. If you don't, and you really want it, you're gonna go buy it. It's that simple.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
Oh yeah,
it really is. And
it's just, you know,
it's like why regret something you don't have?
Oh yeah, no, I mean the things that I regret, are things that like I missed. Like there's definitely some I wasn't paying attention to. There's some I wasn't paying attention to. Like I remember, I could have. I mean, and this is also, you know, years ago. This is like 2015. Could have had, you know, Avengers #8 for $40. I just wasn't paying attention to, you know, eBay at the time. I was like, shit, I missed this auction. I'll get another one. And then all of a sudden I just keep, you know, it just kept steadily climbing.
Doing other stuff and looking at other shit, and that book's creeping up and you ain't paying attention. That sucks. That happened to me.
Yep. And it's just,
I was all happy about these prices, G-Man going up. I can sell this, and get my Fantastic Four 5.
Right.
I go look at Fantastic Four 5 because I have it, and it's fucking tripled.
I'll say this though. A certain trailer dropped this week.
Oh yeah.
When I saw the image in there, I was like, let me look up his first appearance. You know, first day I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm like, we already got a segment on Comic Call Crew called "You Must Be Out Your Damn Mind." And god damn it, I see one on eBay, Strange Tales 89 8.0 first thing frame boom for 30 grand.
What?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Think Fan Boom's been going up for a while.
Hold on.
Yeah, but now he's in that trailer. Now it's gonna shoot it even more. It's already at 30, so I imagine.
But check this out. That's not the half of it though. If y'all seen the newest Shang-Chi trailer that dropped a couple days?
Yeah,
I know you're talking about.
We're gonna play it on the show tonight. If y'all are not busy, 8:45 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, well, play.
I'm almost positive.
But check this out. There was, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but Abomination was in that trailer.
Yeah,
and
that book, knowing that he's already been in a movie, it went back up. It went through.
What was it? What book is that, Dusty? Isn't that Tales to Astonish like 90 or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there was a Tales to Suspense 90, and I was like, "Is this that damn Abomination?" I did that today, and I was like, "This ain't him," because that had Red Skull on it. I was like, "Damn, it must be Astonish."
No, you know what's funny? So after the trailer dropped, literally after that trailer dropped, maybe like give people like 5-6 hours to get ready. Every single Explain channel had it on there. Did you see this? Did you see Abomination? He's back. And then, so that's what drove that one. As soon as it
goes on everything. And then next thing you know, you see it on Comic Tom. Abomination, he's on the hot list. He's got sales of a fucking 1,000%. And Jesus, if you don't get it now, you'll never get it.
1,000%.
Guess what? If you didn't get it prior to that trailer dropping and everybody making a big splash on it, you know what's gonna be fun with that one though? So okay, you see Abomination in there. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna now? I mean, are they innuendoing him for another movie? Like, put it this way: if he goes in there and gets his ass whooped, and then that's it, you don't see him again, it'll drop back down, just like every other villain. But if it's only a setup, like if they go, like let's say that fighting pit is just a setup, and it's just like, oh no, this is Abomination once. Okay, fine. I mean, you would have to think that he's gonna show up in some sort of like Hulk project or something. He's gonna.
Well, you got the She-Hulk coming out, so there's a possibility of him being in that.
I'm waiting on those She-Hulk trailers. I have 2 She-Hulks, so it's just like I have 2 She-Hulk #1. So once that trailer goes, trust me, that's what I've been waiting for a while. I'm waiting.
I will say, that I was excited when I saw Fing Fang Foom.
Oh yeah,
just that little glimpse of him there. I was like, oh shit, it's Fing Fang Foom.
Hey, even Sean went to the goddamn kid and looked the book up.
because I was like, that's like the norm now. It's like, oh, you see something? Let me see what these fools gonna put on eBay. And sure enough, they gonna spec it in there and put it up.
Hey, what Chris was talking about earlier, I was gonna get a Fantastic Four 48. I was on the phone and back and forth, you know, man, I like to video chat like I do it with Rob G all the time, man. And I would show him a book to Hialeah, you know, and say, what do you think? You know, I want to get this 48. It was a 4.0, but it had a little piece out of the cover. He says, you think you could stare at that book and ignore that piece out of the cover and write? So I was like, God, I don't like it. There probably is another one. I'll look. I got off the book. It was $1,000. What do you think that book is today, Chris? What do you think 48 today in a 4.0?
48 now in a 4.0 is, I would say 3,500, something like that.
What?
Yep.
And I could have got it for $1,000.
What?
But instead of doing that, which is not no one's fault, not Hialeah's, it's me not going, let me get a different copy, even if it's a 3.5 or whatever, you know, because I had the money in my hand. That's what gets me mad is when I got the money and I do something dumb and buy some other dumb shit.
Honestly,
another friend of mine, I know it's kind of a, you know, it's kind of a credo of the community, but a friend of mine always used to say is GPAT, Gene Paulus Peter always used to say low grade is better than no grade. He's like, just, you know, if you can get it.
He's right, because I used to watch his videos
my guest that's going to be on tonight, guys. His name is Cwtcc Comics. His name is Kenny. He's got every first appearance in slabs on his wall, like 1.0, 2.0. And they're not like anything graded, you know, graded great, but they're all slabs.
They go up too, baby.
You know what?
He's got first appearances, Punisher, this whole wall. It's awesome, you guys.
Hey, Al, if I was to tell you I AOK'd you at X-Men 1.05, are you going to go, man, you know, that's just not my grade? You're going to be like, hell yeah. I'll be like, hell
yeah. Man, I would take time off work and walk the floor.
Thank you. I would too.
What is this?
By the time I get down there, I'll be like 60 pounds lighter.
I'm sending this back. Yeah, right. People be like, I got like X-Men 1.05.
I'd be doing what you said, Dusty. I'd be like, oh, damn, I can't believe you said this book.
Hey, you talk about crime, man. I'll be snotting everything, man.
0.05 shit brown pages. Like, yeah, I don't care. That's perfectly fine.
Is it intact?
Right
I don't care. If it's together.
I mean, give me a break. Really?
Yeah. This is like, as long as it's X-Men 1.
There's
like,
just my friends out there, and I get it. I mean, I get it. You know, we all flip once in a while to get something better, but it's like, man, oh man, it's like.
Hey, G man, if you knew what was going to happen with these books, where they're at now, and you could foresee this, you're like, man, I just see this shit keep going up and up, and you mortgaged your house, like got a second mortgage for like maybe $80,000 or something, and bought X-Men 1, giant size X-Men. You know, just Fantastic Four, 5, or whatever you could afford all the way up to that. Your ass would have doubled and tripled your money right now and been able to probably pay your freaking home mortgage off.
First of all, what would have happened? So you think about the beginning of that story. So after the mortgage, his wife divorces him. Then he went back.
You got to make sure she's down. She's got to know you're risking it. You know.
My wife. That would be it. First of all, there wouldn't be much more to that story. Like after it would be like, okay, mortgage, and this is what I'm doing, and the next thing would be a funeral for me because she would stab me. She's like, "What are you doing? Like, are you crazy? Like why would you do this?
Hey, Chris, every time I tell her a book's going to go up now, I go show her, I go, you see this book?
I quit
I'm
telling
snapping
her
a picture of it.
I quit telling her.
I'm going to tell you,
Stop telling her that.
You know why that's dangerous? Yeah, it's dangerous because you know what happens? It's just like, oh,
Steve,
like,
don't tell her what it's worth.
Figure it out and go, so why
you got to
tell
her
it now?
what it's worth, man. What happens if you don't wake up tomorrow?
I got notes.
If she sells your shit to the comics,
I put notes on those books.
A couple $100. I already told her to get a hold of all y'all to take care of my shit. She already knows.
My wife wouldn't go through all that. She probably would just beg, just someone take it. And then
See,
like,
my-
Oh yeah, see,
My
Yeah,
wife is going through
that's when reincarnation becomes real, and I come right back, and I'm up in the claw somebody's eyes out.
I know that's right.
As long as she doesn't
Hey.
sell a book that's worth 20 grand, like $10.
Hey,
then
Steve,
you're good.
in that situation, I come back as the candy man, dog, for real.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
book claw and everything.
you damn right.
Haunting your
So you-
nightmare
I already
forever.
told her, you make sure you get a hold of one of the guys
Yep.
off of here. and
Like
they'll
my
help
buddy
you.
Art Chemist. It's funny you mentioned this, Steve, because my buddy Art Chemist about a couple weeks ago, he goes, Bobby, he goes, I got something to show you. Check out YouTube and check out the Pawn Stars back in January. And one of the guys that does a YouTube channel, or no, does a Instagram channel. What is it? Comics something? Torpedo Comics?
Torpedo
Yeah.
Gun.
Beard, and he always looks like he's wearing he's a cool guy, but he always looks like he's wearing a gimp suit when he's selling his comic books.
Gimp.
And listen, this gets better, guys.
Wow,
So much better. This gets so much better. So I'm watching this video. This lady goes in, and this is the one I was telling you about. The story with the lady going in with the slab of a first Thor.
First Thor, joining the mystery.
And at the time, it was like, I think at that time or something like that, it was like $80,000. We looked up the price. I can't remember what you said it was, 60,000, I think, at the time. She goes in, and the guy looks at it and goes, well, I have to get an expert. So the guy from Torpedo Comics, this was on that show, and it was on the Pawn Stars. He goes in there and he goes, like this. And he goes, well, how much you look at? He picks it up like this. What do you look at? Ask for it? And she goes, $60,000. He's like, oh. And he puts it down, looks right at the label, and he goes, oh, well, this is a good thing right here. It's got white pages. So that's a good thing.
Oh
So
my God.
how much is it worth? $80,000. So they back and forth. The guy leaves, and then she turns around, and he got her all the way down to 30 grand on that book, and he bought it for 30. She walked out of that store. I was losing my mind. I literally stopped the video like multiple times. I'm swearing. My wife comes down. She's, what's wrong? What's the matter? You having a heart attack? I go, no. All I gotta say is I would divorce you if you did what this woman did. Sorry. No, she just didn't have the information. That's all. That's the sad thing. And when I seen that, it just drove me nuts.
That's the thing, man. Is you watch some of those shows. Like I remember back in the day watching what was that show? The Storage Locker show.
The Pickers,
yeah.
the storage guy.
Yeah, Storage Wars,
guy.
right? And this dude was like he didn't know shit about comics. So he's just like, oh, he's like, and he's going through all these like just 90s stuff at the time that pretty much worthless. Like, oh, this is worse. And the tallying up the price of what he's saying that they're worth. I'm like, dude, they're not even worth anything close to that. And then it's just like, but then you see the Pawn Star stuff, and they're just like, oh well, I don't know. I mean, this could be, and then like, well, Spider-Man something, and then it's so far off on what they say is supposed to, or what the credentials are for this book to be worth anything, and then they're always trying to like I always cheer the people that walk out on them when they're like,
yeah, me too.
The best I can do is $1,000. This is like, well, it's Amazing Fantasy 15. Well, you get the name recognition there. It's the first Spider-Man, and but yeah, I mean. 2,500.
Those comic book stores you go into and you're going through their $2 bins and you bring them up to the counter. This has happened to me multiple times. I gone up to the counter and I had like a short box full of books. Went through this $2 and $1 book. It took me all day to go through it. Then he goes, "Oh, wait a minute, I gotta check." I go, "No, those are your $2 and $1 books."
Exactly. Yep.
And he starts scanning the book. Oh, this book's worth $20. This worth $40. I go,
I hate that.
I go, you either take what you are asking for it or I walk. And he's like, well, this is too much. I go, bye. I left.
Yeah. I watched there was some dude that was like having a whole conniption, I think, on Facebook all about it. Like, I'm sick of getting screwed by these people. And it's just like, first and foremost, here's the deal.
You can say no. You can say no.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's just like one of them things. It's like, I just did your job for you and pulled all these books out, right? So when it comes down to it, you know what I mean? I just did your job because you're too lazy to go back to your bins. They're marked $1. That's what it is. Like you can't just sit there and just all of a sudden change it. Like go to McDonald's and be like, well, hey, listen, this Big Mac's gonna cost you $18.50 because that's just the way it is. And I mean, people will pay more for this, so I'm gonna have $18.50 for that. And he's like, no,
Dusty lives to go to those kind of stores. Him and Matt, they love when you go look the price up at the counter, man. They just love it.
it kills me because they're just like, they love doing that, and they're like, well, I don't know about this one. This is something. It's like, look, you had it in that dollar. It's just like, yeah, exactly. It's just like you sat there, like you didn't do your job. Like, I mean, because this is something. I mean, literally, you should be doing this every day. And be like, okay, listen.
See, here's also another nice little side gesture you can always do when you're doing that kind of stuff. Because I've spent many hours going through books. Like I have a guy that owns a bookstore which is like 20 miles away, and he's a pretty cool guy. But I went through his entire comic books. He had saved like 6 long boxes. He had a whole storefront full up in the front, and he goes, Robert, go through them all. And I went through them all and picked out my short box that I had of books.
What's up, Jeff?
Seen all of his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He had like almost a whole short box full of them. And all these books were $20, $30, $40, $50, $60 books. A couple of them are a couple $100 a piece. And he's selling these for like $2 a piece. So I took the whole stack, everything, and organized it, brought it right up there. I'm not a Teenage Mutant Ninja collector, so it's not for me. I brought it up there and I go, listen, all these books you might not want to have up there. These are not worth $2. These are worth like, this one's 10. I knew what they were because I've seen them multiple times. Yeah. He's like, holy crap, really? I go, yeah. And he goes, dude, you need anything? Just I'll give you a call. If I have anything come in, you can go right through it. He gives me a deal. So you use nice things for like that for people, and they do good. It's like you're rubbing each other's back.
It's when they fight you on it, and then you walk up the store. You're like, you know what? When you're selling these for $25 a pop, just remember to thank me because I'm the one that got them out of the bins and put them up there. You know what I mean? Like,
they always give me a good deal when I come in there. 2 for 1, 3 for 1s, whatever. It's pretty cool.
And that's the thing. It's just like, you know what? If you own a shop, put it this way, if that's the way you're gonna do business, if you own a shop and you have employees there, it's just like, look, give them a list. Like, look, go through these and you look for this. If you see any books on this list, pull them out. If you see any of these titles right now, because these are the hot titles from these years, pull them out. That's all. And then go up, price and do what you got to do, and then no one gets mad at that. But it's like if you have Marvel Spotlight 5 sitting in a dollar bin, hey, look, it's $1. No, that's like a $20,000 book right now. It's $1. I don't care what you say. If it's in this box, it's $1.
I love when Bueller says that. He goes to his shop and it'd be a hot book, and he'll tell him, man, this is a hot book. It's newer stuff. This is mostly newer. And it can be like, what, Something's Killing the Children 1.
Yeah.
He'll go, this is a hot book. They'll go, today it's $1.
Yeah, the opposite.
I'm like, oh hell yeah, man! Give me that whole goddamn.
Yeah.
Go back there in the bag and look for any more. Shit, if you could get any more, bring them all. Hey, and I'll tell all y'all, hey man, I got a bunch of these good books.
Exactly.
They're gonna be some AOKs.
Yep.
Like that's the thing. Like, and some people, like some shops that I go to, they know. They're like, oh, you found that? Cool, man. Like there's a shop that it's actually nearby where my wife used to live. Where her childhood home was. And she's like over there, like I pulled out a G.I. Joe #1, and the dude he was like, he's like, that's an awesome. I mean, this is a few years ago. He's like, oh, that's a great book. He's like, where'd you put that? I was like, out of the $2 bin. He's like, seriously? He's like, that's awesome, man. He's like, congratulations. So he knew it was there. Like it's not like he didn't know. Like he was cool with it. He's just like, when it comes in and he sees it, it's like, we put good stuff in there sometimes. It's like that. If you want to dig through it, go for it.
Sometimes you catch them sleeping. And how I got Conan 275, the last issue, for $3. I jumped all over that. Go ahead, Al.
Al got to end up like a class teacher.
Okay, so this is a story that I told on our last show. We have 3 comic book stores in Macon, and one particularly we go to. This guy's taking off, like he has slabs on the wall. He's taking off all the price tags on the slabs. Well, he reached a new low last week.
Oh boy!
What he did?
Reached a new low.
He reached a new low last week. So what he did about 3 weeks ago, there was they had a show down here in Macon, and he went to the show. So he pulled a lot of his books out of the dollar bin, and he priced them up. So when he got back to the store, some of the same books that were in the dollar bin, they were in the dollar bin forever because we've been going to this store for over a year. He marked up to $3, $4, $5.
Yep.
So he got lazy and didn't feel like we were putting them back into the dollar
bin.
bin.
No, it wasn't that, Jeff. He actually priced them after he got back to the store.
Oh, okay.
And he took
that's a new low. But
Wow.
I
That's the thing. It's just like just do it, because like what Jeff was saying. Like I've seen people talking about this type of stuff where like there's some shops that just don't price things anymore. They're just like, no, I don't price. So you pull it out, and it doesn't matter. And there's two excuses I hate. Like one was like, oh, you know, I don't know about this one, but then the other one is like, oh, that shouldn't have been there. That's not my fault.
Right.
Like, if it was there, it was there. You know what I mean?
The issue with this guy is that some of these books that he marked up were in the dollar bin, just sitting there, for a year.
Wow.
Yep.
So if my logic is that if the book is not selling for $1, why
It
mark
should go lower.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like nobody wants it. I mean, that's a thought process that makes me laugh. It's like, okay, so they're not. So it's been here for a year. Nobody wants it for $1, and then you expect to come in $3. What a bargain! Yeah, I gotta get this. Like, what do you got in your mind?
That's some hell of a reverse psychology, man. I won't.
It's like if people pay $3, they're gonna want this.
You remember when we got to the topic last week on what's on your mind?
Yeah.
And I started talking about, you know, when we went to VNC Collectibles to meet Sam Jones, and the discouragement of seeing that sign saying because of fluctuating prices, there are no prices on the books. You have to take it to the counter. And I didn't even dig through them bins because of that sign.
I'm done.
Yep.
Once you do that, I'm done.
And the question
had a sign to say
at least they had a sign. So I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna look at your shit because of that sign. But I just like, it's complete discouragement, because as a comic book collector and a guy who digs through bins, to see something like that on your racks,
but it
means you don't want nobody looking at your books.
But it gives me more respect for the guy that actually puts a sign out and says,
at least he told you. Yeah. It's not like you go up there and all of a sudden it's just like
I just feel like you see that sign and you're automatically not going to look at the
right. But that's fine. At least he tells you.
At least he's telling you. It's not like you just sit there, get up to the counter, and he's like, let me look at these. The Vaseline's over there real quick, so you go ahead and get yourself all lubed up for what I'm going to do to you in a second. It's just like, what are you
you know, I feel like chewing them guys up like this, going up there and going, oh. Spine ticks. Okay, your shit just went from $20 to $5. Oh, I'm a grader, dude. This book's in poor condition. So what's the poor condition price? That would
be amazing. You should do that from now on. Like, just
go up there and just absolutely hammer his book into oblivion. Going, oh, these are off-white pages. Oh, look at the back, man. Somebody sat this in some water. It's not gonna.
Yep. You see this thing right here? You see how it's all lumpy on that spine? That's called spine roll. That's going to knock it down a little bit.
Yeah, the price for me to press and clean this book is worth more than what you're charging. It's 10 for that. It's going to be $2.
My thing for a store like that, man, prices ain't going to fluctuate. Like, you ain't going to tell me Youngblood #1 is going to go from a 50-cent book to a $3 book, man. You kiss my ass with that, because I wouldn't go in the store no more, man. Like, I wouldn't even. Yeah. And I badmouth the hell out of him too. Like, hey man, that dude, he goes on eBay, because that's how one of the guy that I was telling you about. I tried to buy Miss Marvel 16. It was a 9.0 from him back in February, and the dude was like, "Hey man, this book's hot. Like, I give you 110 for it," and he was basically trying to sell it to me for $160 because it sold on eBay for that. I said, no, I don't want it. You can have it.
He's out of his mind, because that book, I would say, even hot. It ain't 17 or 18, so it's just like you need to relax on that one. Like that, it might be hot, but it's not. I mean, you're talking about the first, and it's weird because like 15 is the first cameo but it's not really her. It's that mermaid character. Then it's like, then was it 16 is the second first cameo, and then 17 is the third. It's just like, so it's just like if it's 17 or 18, I can understand it being a little bit more, but like, yeah, no, that's out of control for Miss Marvel 16. Like that's just crazy stuff. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, but it's just like, look, if somebody got took on eBay for this, like that's their fault. Like that's not fair market value though. That's just somebody who overspent, because it's like, let's look at the rest of the sold listings and see the story that it tells on this book.
Hey, those guys in the card business do that too, man. They'll have a card it's expensive, and in their title it'll say RP, which is reprint. But if
Yes,
you
I
don't know
saw
what
that.
shit that is, if you don't know what RP is, you're thinking, man, I'm getting a hell of a deal on this card, and they price it up high so that they, not too high, but do you think you're getting a deal?
Right.
There's some slick guys out there, boy.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the facsimiles and the true believers. There's sometimes that like you look on there and they're like, and you have to really read the description because they title it ASM 300, and then it's like, and then they show you just ASM 300, like that's it, and then all of a sudden they're like true believer, and then it's like, oh, okay.
They do that to this one all the time.
Well, you know,
It looks just like it. I mean, like that. That's almost a 1-to-1 replica on that thing.
Well,
It's crazy.
the three things that gives it away. It says the reprints all say Dynamite, magazine.
Yep.
It doesn't say Warren, and then it says $6.99, and when it's only 50 cents.
Did you know, Steve or Jeff, they're gonna have a Warren magazine coming out?
It's already been coming.
The
it's
history?
Not called Warren. Oh no, did not know that. But
Yeah, the history. I ordered one. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's the crazy part is that like you have to be eagle-eyed on that type of stuff because if not, like, and I know like I saw a couple of facsimiles, with just time left to go and the bids up around $300-$400 and it's just like this is New Mutants 87, but it's a facsimile. You can tell.
And people don't get it. Yeah, and you're looking at that book, you're going like, do you guys not know that's a reprint?
What were you gonna say?
Well, I was going to say one of the biggest trends now on eBay for sellers, they like to tag MCU to everything now. So I actually got into. Well, I didn't really get into it. One, I was looking for. I'm a fan of Quasar.
Yep.
I was looking for I think it's Incredible Hulk 231, his first appearance as Quasar.
Yep.
And this one guy on eBay, he was a seller. I screenshotted it and everything. He wanted like a ton of money for it, and he put MCU in the description.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're speculating that Quasar might be in Guardians of the Galaxy, but they haven't confirmed anything.
Nope.
So I asked him. I said, "Well, why is it that MCU is listed in your title?" When it hadn't been confirmed, Quasar is in the MCU. And his response, he responded. He said, buddy, I'm just trying to sell books. He said, if you have a big problem with it, which I did, but it was, I wasn't going to buy the book. He was like, I'll take MCU out of it. And sure enough, he took MCU out of the title. But a lot of them, they do that because they get these, like Matt says on the show, shine bones. They get people. Basically, it's like this. There's a sucker born every minute.
Yep.
And when they see MCU, if you're uninformed, if you're not into comic books like we are, you'll jump at it because you're like, oh, MCU, I want to go ahead and jump on this quick because it might be something worth of value down the road. When in reality, he was honest to June, and I appreciated his honesty. But see, my thing is, if he knew he wasn't doing the right thing, or if he felt indifferent, he wouldn't have taken that MCU out of the title.
Yeah.
So apparently, he knew what he was doing was misleading people. You know what I'm saying? So but just like Boston Chris said, if you go out on eBay and you pay $400 for a mid-grade first appearance of Quasar Raw, then that's on you. I'm not the one. I'm not gonna do it. So
no, it's crazy too, and I as soon as you say the MCU thing, movie coming, MC like people love that.
I love going on eBay to search that shit just to see WandaVision. All that stuff with WandaVision, MCU.
Speaking of WandaVision, I follow a lot of options just to see what happens. So it was a very fine Avengers 57. That shit went for $1,400. I was like, wow. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, and it's still because of the the WandaVision hype, which is hilarious. Just because,
buddy.
But yeah, that MCU thing is crazy, and I'm gonna say Shinebone is one of the funniest things I've heard all day. So I'm gonna use that from now on. I like that. Don't be a Shinebones now. Come on.
Matt would be proud. But yeah, man, I find that really incredulous, man, that you have people, and the crazy part is a lot of the
What's
books.
up, Lasso?
You'll see what's up, Lasso. You'll see people put that in the title, and the book's not even being spec'd on as far as the character, but they know if they put that in there, it's going to draw some eyes to it, man, especially to those who are uninitiated. So,
wow, the way that you know it's gone too far is when you see them, you know, Batman number 742 MCU coming soon. It's like, what?
This sometimes drives me up a wall. Putting 9.8 in the description of a damn raw book.
Yep.
You know damn well that book ain't 9.0, 9.8 if it ain't slab.
actually putting any grade in it, because if you're not a grader, because they'll tell you in the description,
Oh yeah,
I'm not a comic book grader. So how you know it's a 7.0?
not a comic book grader, but if I had to guess,
I don't
Yeah,
mind if
but
it's
in the other
I
version
asked
it says
for more
high grade.
pictures, but
It
there's
always
something
says
I'm
that.
interested in.
Like, what is wrong with you,
Well,
man?
you just
Like,
said you don't grade, but you put high grade on it. Well,
I'm like,
if you
man,
don't
this
grade, I'm
book
gonna
is
put low
like
grade on it. Can I get a better price?
leak
I don't know how many times I've had those
everything, man.
Yeah, those eBayers, and I'll ask them for extra pictures. Can you send me extra pictures, close-ups, clear photos of that? And if
Camera's
they're good
broken,
colors,
sorry.
they'll do it.
Hey, I asked a guy to do that. It was me and Jeff was out, and I didn't buy nothing because I wanted to buy it was a Star Wars #1,
Yeah,
and it was in pristine condition. But he never took a picture of the back, so I asked him to take a picture of the back. So I'm with Jeff. I'm like, this guy says he had Parkinson's. He'll get his wife to do it after some estate sale. No big deal. So I tell Jeff, man, I'm not going to buy shit because I'm going to go buy that damn Star Wars book. I get back, sold. God, and I didn't buy shit. And this dude didn't even take another picture of them, and someone just off the front bought it. They just gambled. Because man, the front could look great sometimes, and the back's terrible.
Yeah, the back could be bad.
People set their books down with them up usually. I know that.
Yeah.
Hey, before we go any further, I want to say welcome, Lasso. Welcome to the show. How are you doing? How's it going?
What's going on, guys?
Going on, Lasso.
I was almost to the point that I felt like I was going to start spending money, so I come to my support group to stop me. I said, there's enough guys in this group that can stop me from spending money right now. So I'm walking away, and I know Mr. G will just drive down if he has to.
Yes.
So I come just to hang with you fine folks.
Yeah, better than spending money, man, on stuff you don't need like me.
Yeah.
Well, I spent some money yesterday.
So you did spend it. Now you're here with remorse.
You see how he put his head down? He said, "Well, I spent some money yesterday."
I did. I spent money yesterday, but that isn't here yet. So you don't have that instant gratification reward. So, but I will say that yesterday I bought a limited collector's edition.
Sweet.
Big picture, guys.
Nice.
So I was pretty excited about that.
Hey, Gabby.
Gabby, what's up, love?
Hey.
We're joined by Big Will's in the house.
Hey, Will.
Shit, we need one more, and we're gonna do Hollywood Squares, baby.
Yeah. Comic book squares.
I'm in the middle right now. Y'all gotta go.
Steve for the center square.
Yeah, I'll be like, I don't know shit about that. You just got blocked.
Give us your best Paul Lynn, Steve. Come on.
Yeah, they'll have to take me out and switch G-Man over in this spot. I'm out of this goddamn.
Okay, Will, you just mentioned Paul Lynn, and you don't know what that triggers in me. So for like the rest of the weekend, at least, now I will walk around and I'll start saying stuff like, "Oh, I got to go to the bank on Monday."
That was funny.
It triggered me.
Man.
Okay, now try this with me. I'll get you Penelope Textile.
I'll get you Penelope if it's the last thing I have to do.
From the Simpsons episode, he was the bad guy, and he's just like, "They're over there, get them, boys." I started rolling. I was like, "Oh my god."
Oh man,
He was great, man.
Yeah.
No visible flaws.
Beautiful book.
I mean, that's a lot better than saying that the book's a 7.0 or 8.5 and
I
know how to grade.
give a range if you're going to give an estimate of a grade.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's you go with that low one, and anything above is a plus. So just grade it at this 9.0. It may be a 9.6. We don't know. Let's send it off, man. It's gonna be. Looks good, man.
Well, because you know what's gonna happen is that it won't be the random person that just buys it. It'll be some collector like you said it was this.
You said it was a 9.8,
and then it's like, all right, fine, I'll send you the money back, send the book back, and next thing you know, you're sitting there playing that game of like, well, I sent the book. I mean, you have to send the money though.
Big Remo mentioned that on the show one Saturday. He was like, if I'm gonna buy a book and you're saying that it's a 9.0, but I get it graded, it's an 8.5, but you're gonna give me the difference that I lost on this book.
Yeah.
That's the funny
Not
part.
gonna happen.
My father-in-law has Hope 181, and I would say, I mean, now this is my own opinion on this. I don't know full out, but I would say, like, looking at it, it's probably, I mean, a 6.5 with a graded press, it could probably be a 7.0. And so he was kind of like, oh, like, I'm curious, like, what I should do with this, like, if I'm trying to sell it at all, like, how can I go about it? And I told him, I was like, you should get it. I was like, you should get it press cleaned and then graded. I was like, and then try to sell it. Because he was thinking that he could just go to the local shop and I was like, don't do that. The guy's going to give you $100 for it and tell you to go away. Especially when he knows you don't know what it is, or that he knows you don't know what kind of price comes with it. He's going to basically give you like $200 and send you on your way. I said, you got to do it this way. He wasn't a fan. I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I was like, trust me. He's like, well, what if I just go on eBay? I was like, that's the worst thing you could do. It's like, you go on eBay and sell that book. It's gonna get sold for whatever price. Then the person's gonna come back and tell you it wasn't the great.
Dad or relative? Was it relative or your dad?
Oh no, it's my father-in-law. So my wife's father.
Oh, if it's your father-in-law, just say, just give me the book and we'll be good.
Yeah, I wish.
Hey, Chris, that reminds me of trading a car in.
He's gonna have such speculation of not selling it, gonna sell it, not gonna sell it.
Oh yeah.
Let him do it.
I told him how to go about it. I told him exactly how to go about it. And he was just like, that sounds like a lot. I was like, that's what you got to do. I was like, in order not to get screwed.
Why don't he just hand you the book and tell you to do it and tell him how much the price is?
I would do it for him. He just, he's just not, he just wanted to go about it and be like, oh, just, here's the book. Here you go. And like, no, it doesn't work that way. And he was like, really? And I said, and so I told him what would happen to him if he put it on eBay. I was like, first of all, they're going to come, whoever's going to be able to afford it is a collector. I was like, that's first and foremost. So what they're going to do is whatever condition you say it's in, they're going to say it was worse than that, and then try to get the money back from eBay. So you'll send the money back, and then they're going to tell you that they're going to send you the book. They're not going to send you the book, and you're just going to get robbed. I was like, don't do it. Trust me. And he's like, all right, well, just sit
It's
here.
the same thing with the car dealers. They do that same shit. I had a BMW M3. It had a dining package on it. It was a fast little car, right? I needed a truck because I was starting a business, so I was taking it in there, gonna trade it in, and then get me a truck. Them guys gonna tell me my car was not worth no more, and I mean no more than 8,000, right? It was an older car, but it had low miles. It was not a scratch, none. It was perfect. I was like, man, that's funny, man. A dude on the way here offered me 15,000 in traffic, and you're gonna tell me this shit is not worth 8,000 in traffic? A dude said, man, if you want to sell that car, man, I really like to buy that. So you can't trust the people. You can't trust them.
No.
I want to know, how come so many people think the best place to sell something is the place that sells that same thing? Why would you? The car lot is the worst place to sell a car.
I went and sold that car in for I think 17,000 I got for it, and went and put a couple more thousand and bought a brand damn new truck. At the time it was low, nothing on it, because I just needed a work truck, and they were trying to give me 8,000. Man, I did a donut out of that goddamn lot. I'm for real, gun that shit in donuts.
I think the reason that people think that is because it's like, oh, well, these guys are the experts, so that's and it's like, what you don't get is these guys sell these things all day long. Like,
they're experts, all right, experts on getting a good deal.
Exactly, and that's the thing is like, you take it to the comic shop. It's like, I guarantee you, that, I mean, it's like, the comic shop that he wanted to bring it to, it's just like, yeah, the guy's been around for a long time. He's probably sold about 200 of those books. I was like, he knows what he's trying to do, and he knows how to get those books in, and he knows how to deal with people that know what the book is and know how, he knows how to deal with collectors, and he knows how to deal with just people up the street. You're the person up the street. He's going to take it from you, and he's going to screw you, because that's what he does, because he knows, I'll get this, and then oh yeah, I'll buy you a $7,000 book from you for $500, no problem.
Hey, you want to know a good way to get kicked out of the shop is to have a deal going on like that, and you stand there and you go, "Hey man, I'll give you more than him."
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done that before, Steve. I've done that before. They keep calling to the store. I go, "Here you go."
Hey,
and I took
real quick.
I got a buddy that owns a shop, and he was telling me that he's an honest stand-up guy. So someone brings in like ASM 129, and he looks through it and tells them it's worth up to maybe $800 or so in this condition. You got this here, and they're like, "Well, would you like to buy it?" And he goes, "Well, sure, but I'm got to sell it, so I'm going to offer you, $300 for it." And people get mad, and he's like, "But I have to do that to make money."
Yeah, that's how they do on Pawn Stars every time.
Yeah, so he's already made it known that if you want to bring something in for him to price it, he's going to charge you like $5 or something.
Yeah,
just because he knows what's going to happen. It'll be, it's worth $1,000, just like Pawn Stars. It's worth $1,000. I'd like $1,000. What the hell am I going to make money?
Yeah.
What would you like for it? They say that exact number 95% of the time, Will. 95.
Yeah, Jeff. No kidding.
I mean, that's the thing. Is just it's a crazy game that we play, and it's just the way it is. It's like how does this work? And it's just like unfortunately, there's always a winner and a loser in that situation. So it's like like to not get took. It just is what it is. Like
you got the internet. You can do your own homework. You can pick the book up and go, "Damn, these books are hot."
But here's the example too, gentlemen.
You'd be better off just to throw it up on the auction. Go, "I know no grade. I can tell you all this is there." That's all.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Go ahead, G-Man.
No, I was going to say an example of what we're all talking about. Okay, and here's the thing. As a collector, all collectors of certain things are all collectors of what we like, and we're going to buy what we like, plain and simple. But what are you really doing? And this is what the community needs to understand, and also younger collectors need to understand as well. Are you buying the book because it's a piece? Trust me, we've got very expensive paper in our collections. It's paper in the end, guys. But in the end, we like what we like. We collect what we like, and we'll spend what we think it's worth. But the thing is, are you just mad or trying to turn the book over for a profit? Is that what you want? Right, instant profit right now?
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? Us, it's a little bit different, but majority, that's how they think. Oh, this must be worth it's just like when Dead Man Superman came out. It's like, give me a break. Give me $1 million book 20 years down the road.
And that was my uncle's thought. I was going to get that. My uncle thought that.
It's like,
man.
It's simple. And that's what majority of community members need to understand as well. Too.
My uncle thought that he literally bought a retirement plan with that. I remember when that book came out and I was young, and he was like, "Check it out." He's like, this is gonna be something you'll see. The Death of Superman, and I was like, "Oh, cool." And as a little kid, like, "Oh, wow." He's like, no one's touching it. Just sit right here. It's gonna be in this, and it's just like, yeah. Then come to find out, what was it, like 6 months later they brought him back, and it made
193,000
here's the rebirth of Superman. Get profit.
Exactly. My uncle was like so excited, and then all of a sudden they brought him back, and it's like he's alive again. Like what just happened?
That's the point. He bought it because he looked at it as an investment. I mean, you're going to lose if you keep thinking that way. You win. Sorry, buddy.
They were looking at me like I done committed a crime when that issue came out. I opened up that book so I can read it in the store. And they looking at me like, "What are you doing? That is some sacred book that you're doing, and you opening it up." I'm like, first of all, I'm a child, so what the fuck y'all care about me opening up a book?
I can get away with shit, man. I'm young.
Exactly. They looking at my dad like, what are you doing? What is your son doing? I'm like, we got the hell out of that store because it was so fucking stupid. You know, like I ain't buy at that time. I wasn't into comics book. Oh, this is holy grail. We gotta put this up for the future. Like, no, man. I want to read that book, and they looking at me like I done committed a sin.
Hey, Sean, you know
that
it
was
was worldwide when my mom bought me one.
Yeah.
She worked. She worked at Walmart back then. She goes, "These books are supposed to be something big and special," and she gave me and my brother one. Man, I was like, man, all right. I put it up. She's what, $1 now or something? I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Magic, what did yours say? You got one from BV too, didn't you?
Me?
Yeah. Your book?
Oh, yes, I did. Mine said something very funny inside.
So did mine.
Yeah,
So did mine.
And I'm not ready to say what mine says yet, but it said something very, very funny inside. Because I almost have a mini VV appreciation month going on my channel next month. And that's going to be part of that. Because for those that don't know, VV's birthday is coming up in a few weeks.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of turning into a mini VV celebration on my channel next month.
Cool.
Damn, I'll have to check that out for sure.
Definitely.
yeah.
For sure.
Nah, it just that whole thing is just funny though, because you go back to that and it's just like, you know, I wonder too, like if the shop owners knew at the time what was gonna, you know what I mean, like if they had any idea, like, you know, this book is gonna be crazy overprinted, it's not, you know what I mean. I wonder if they knew or if it was just one of those things where it's just like, you know, they're just caught in the bubble like everybody else, and it's like, no, this is gonna be a big deal. We gotta order a ton of these. You know,
I think it was the media hype because you got to remember,
Yeah, that shit was on the news.
television stations were covering this in their evening news. I mean, it was an event. DC could not ask for better publicity than what they got out of that event.
The only other thing I saw like that was when Peter Parker died. They did the same thing, and we're like, oh, there's a new Spider-Man, this Miles Morales kid. And it's funny that, like, you know, Miles, like they learned and they didn't like massively produce the book, so it's like, you know, now that's why it's hitting and getting big. But yeah, it's just like one of those things where it's just like, you know, the shop owners, because I remember the shops at the time, they were all in, like, yeah, you got to get this book. And I mean, it made sense for them to do that, even though they knew that, like, they ordered, like, you know, 800 copies of it. It's just like, no, you got to get, like, it's the death of Superman. Come on, get this book.
But you know what's funny is that nowadays, a lot of the stuff from back in the day like that, the 90s books, like Superman 75, Death of Superman, the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man #1, in the 9.8, they're all over $100.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually worth it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chris, I saw a guy
that
laid out 100. It had to be 100 of Ultimate Fallout 4s. He goes, man, I hope this book gets big one day. I was like, and I remember seeing that shit, man. He had them like checkerboard on his floor, and they were stacks of them. He goes, yeah, I got at least 100-something copies. I'm like, and he goes, they're unread copies and they're brand new. I hope this. I was like, man, that guy, freaking.
Oh yeah, he's just
right now. That guy's like, man, living in freaking Hawaii with a freaking paid-off house right now.
Exactly, he's just chilling. It's like, all right, no, who knew about this book? You know what I mean?
Do you guys ever buy anything off the Facebook Marketplace?
I have.
Not yet.
I haven't yet.
Magic, I went to buy a book off of Marketplace. It was the variant of Ultimate Fallout 4, you know, the one that went through the roof.
Yeah.
The guy wanted $1,200 for it. And this was right at the beginning of the hype. I was like, man, for some reason I love that cover, man. And I was telling my wife, I said, I really think this book's worth it. She goes, that's a lot of money for a freaking comic book. I'm like, yeah.
Steve, stop telling your wife. Stop.
Yeah, she's got the money. I have to tell her. She keeps all the money. I give it all to her, and then I got to go.
There's a problem right
there. Hey, except for my cash, and then she don't know about that. She can't hear me.
So you got to get her a hobby.
So this guy, Texas guy, and he never answers me back, man. And that book went to what, $10,000, man. I would have had that freaking. I don't know what grade it was because it was raw.
You look great. You see what you did?
Yeah, that's an example of a rifle approach. Is most of the time better than a shotgun approach, where you focus in on one or two or three books, and you buy multiple, then buying 50 copies, you know, random stuff, hoping they rise.
My Facebook Marketplace experience turned out actually pretty good. There was a guy that placed an ad, and he said, I'm selling off my collection of 40,000 comic books. He says all the keys are pretty much gone, but if you're looking to fill in a run somewhere, I probably have what you're looking for. And he said, email me for a list if you're interested. So I emailed him for a list, and he said, ignore the prices that are on here, but here's what's left. And he would continually update the list. And I found a lot of things that I was interested with, and he was pricing these to sell. So I went up to his house one day, and imagine walking into a room where there's 40,000 comic books in one room in someone's private residence. I mean, this room was enormous, and it was just long boxes everywhere, and he pretty much knew where everything was at. And I ended up, making 2 or 3 different hauls with him for a while. And then last time I got a hold of him, he said, I'm really busy with work. I still have the books that, some other book that you just asked about. I still have these books, but I'm pretty busy with work, so I'll get back to you. So I waited a couple months, and I never heard back from him. So I just politely messaged him again. I said, hey, I'm just checking in again. And he never answered me again. And that awesome honey hole, I guess, went away.
Yeah. Man, I wonder what it was like for Reggie to go in and look at that 100,000 book collection and then buy it.
Yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah, because Will, when you buy that, you don't know what this guy could be taken out of.
Forget what he might be taking out. What could be left in there? You have no idea.
Yep. But if you got a smart guy and he's like, I know this is a key and that's a key, and you don't get to look through it all. I don't like that. If I'm gonna buy it, I have to have it all that day while that guy's right in front of me.
But hey, if you guys are in need of X-Men, I know Southern Comic Geek has a complete collection, and he's selling his whole run of X-Men 1 through 500 or whatever. So,
and then that was
if you guys need anything,
Dusty Brown passed out on.
I am here today to formally announce my new GoFundMe account so I can purchase that from Jason. And I'm counting on all of your support, even you, Al, who I haven't even acknowledged today, who's my dear friend up there in the corner. Hi, Al.
Hello. I'm gonna have to beat you to the punch on that GoFundMe. Okay. In fact, let me what's on mine right now.
Fair warning now.
You gotta preface it like this right now.
They're low grade, and some of them are PGX. So just fair warning.
No, that's okay. He's starting the GoFundMe, and think of it this way: you'll own a piece of it as well, but it's just staying at my house to do with whatever I want with them. But just help a brother out. That's crazy.
Shoot, I'm gonna stage y'all to beat the hell out of me with some trash comics. I'm gonna say it was X-Men 1s and all this, man. I was selling this to save my grandma. I'll go straight to hell and all those books that catch on fire first.
See, Steve, you need to. I created a little monster with my Queen G. Hey, buddy, what's up? Yo, I spend too much money with that guy right there. Marvelous Comics. He's always taking my money. Might as well just give him my paycheck. He's doing an auction, you guys, in a couple hours. Go check him out. Anyway, what I was going to say is get a hobby for your wife, but I started a little monster with mine. She got into that pop collection, dude. So it's been a little less than a year, right? She's got a whole wall in the living room. 125 pops. Her most recent one she was all excited about. You ready? Saturday Night Live. A dick in a box. That was her favorite.
That's funny.
She was like, ecstatic. She was losing her mind.
Hey, G-Man, my wife will not have no hobbies like that. She's got them grandkids. That's her hobby. I'm not gonna. There's no.
Maybe you should try a dead collectible like Beanies or Precious Moments or something like that.
Precious Moments. Oh my goodness.
Shoot, you almost got me banned from comics totally, man. Hey, she heard who that saying, I don't pay for none of my books. I fund them all through this and never spend $1. She said, who is that guy? Hold on. She was never interested in the show in her life, but that particular one, I was sitting next to her on the couch, and I said, man, who that just about ended my comic collection career
I know.
accidentally. He didn't even know me at the time.
It's like, what's he getting these books for free for? And you're paying all this money.
Yeah,
no, you don't
yeah.
understand.
That's like he sells and does this, and he wins goddamn every raffle he's in. On top of that,
almost every raffle.
Him and Sean win all the raffles. I won't even get in a raffle. I'll be giving him my money straight
I
away.
won one. So
Yep.
yeah,
I've been there to see him win those raffles. Like he just be like, hey guys, guess what? Like when we first started hanging out, like back in the day, he'd be like, just won a giant size one, just won. You know, so he won all kinds of books. Like he it's funny too because it's like, you know, if you go back and look at his raffle wins, and it's just like, and it just he held off on selling them until now. I can only imagine how much money he would have made off of those. Because I mean, he all the big books. Like he had at one point or another. Like
Dude,
he
what,
had.
what did you win, Sean?
We talking about
ASM 129, ASM 300, Crisis on Infinite Earth, Death of Flash, signed by Marv Wolfman and George Perez.
I had that.
And yeah, and then there was those were slabs, and the ASM 129 was raw, and then there was another one I won off of raffle.
Man, I can't bring myself to do raffles. If you don't win, it's not just a waste of the money. Really, I can't bring myself to do them.
That's why, hey, Big Will, that's why I jumped out when I was winning. After I won the last one, I'm like, I ain't doing it because I did spend a lot before and lost, and I felt like, damn, that was money down the drain.
Yeah, I've never won one. I've only done a couple though. Like I would say in total raffle losses, I think I'm about $70 in total raffle losses. Nothing like ridiculous, but I know some people who dumped crazy money on those raffles. And you know, they're just like, hey, win some, you lose some. It's like, yeah, right. I was like, dude, I ain't get that kind of money. I wish I did, but if I did, I would just buy the book straight out. I don't have the kind of money to just, you know, to roll the dice and hope that it comes out, you know, in my favor. But that's the thing, you know what I mean? He hasn't done it in a while, but like there was a time though where Cwtcc was on a roll. He was just winning book after book, and it was crazy. It was fun to watch. So he always
I made sure I got out when I was on the roll, you know, because I was like before I got on my hot streak, I was, you know, spending a little money here, there on raffles, had no luck. I was contemplating getting out. Then I got two from Strictly Comics, your boy, you know. Strictly Comics, and then I got one from another seller on Instagram. Actually, I won two from him on raffles. I was like, shit, that's 4 in a row.
Hey, Sean, did you watch the raffles live, or did they just email you won?
Most of the time, I try and watch live. Like, I need to watch it. If I invest money in it, I need to see it live. Period. Ain't no such thing. I
forgot about
you let me know the time, and I'm checking that raffle live out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want to see, man, your name pop up.
I forgot all about mine.
Yep. I've never won. I've come in second, I think, 3 times, and I was like, it killed me because I was like,
those are the worst because you're like, damn, man, I was one spot close from winning.
Hey, the worst thing, Sean, is if they rerun it like 7 times and you're number 1 on 6. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, no, those are crazy. Like those are
never. Who that?
Yep.
Hey,
that was
who wins? Who's ever gonna have a story like that shit? Man?
Yeah. I remember actually my first raffle. Who that was like? He was joking around with me. He's like, look at you buying just one spot in this. This is your first raffle. Watch you win this. I think it was for a giant size. So watch you win this giant size your first time. I'm like, yep. And I think that's like that one. I came in second, so I was like, oh, I could try another one. And then like it just never worked out for me. So it's just, you know, I didn't throw that money down like that just because like. I'm in that same mode of thinking. It's almost like you know, going to a casino, you gamble, and it's like, yeah, all right, you know, I can't just keep putting chips in. It's like I'm just wasting money at this point. Like I gotta win something. It's like,
hey, when I go to the casino though to gamble, I'm always playing the Linda Carter Wonder Woman slot machine. So I'm still winning when I'm losing.
So you're winning regardless, just by her dancing around on your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I make the mistake of trying to go to some of the table games. It's like, all right, blackjack. I know how to play this game. I should be all right.
No, those games are too smart for me.
Nah, like, you know, the thing it's funny because some of the slot machines are tough too because they put so many, like, with all the different lines. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm betting. I'm just pressing the button. But like everybody else has success on those things. Like, everybody else
sounds good. Who that pick your numbers for you and then you put the money in.
It might not be a bad idea because honestly, my numbers don't seem to work, but his did for a while. So
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Will can't do it. Nope. Will reminds me of my brother. His ass won't gamble on nothing. If he bets you on something, you can damn near believe he's going to win too.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah,
you gotta have a sure bet.
Football in the game, man, he wins every time, man. They say, man, you cheat some goddamn how. We don't know.
I'll say this. I'll say this about some of my raffle ones. I only went hard on one, and that was ASM 129 because it was First Punisher, and I really wanted that book. All the other ones, I kind of lucked in to win. I only bid like maybe 2 spots. You know, I think I did 1 spot, and I got lucky and got that. So I was like,
man. If you can see the odds you won with, Sean, you'd be like,
bro, like Flix and Comix, JoJo, she had a raffle on her 2K celebration, and the first like 7-8 spots get to choose the different items. And I came number 1. I was like, what the hell? It was like 25, 30 people in there, and I came number 1 on the first one, so I get to choose first.
What did you choose?
I chose the Predator figure.
Nice.
I remember seeing she had a bunch of she said a bunch of people was donating prizes, and she had a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Do these raffles, they just go on like a wheel or something, and it spins around and picks the number, or they shuffle in and like random.com.
They use a randomizer.
They do a randomizer. They use to roll dice. And you randomize it however many times.
What's the point of picking your number? That makes no sense to me.
The Spider
just to be able to say, like, it's in this order, and
Yeah, Will, you're almost best to let everyone pick their number, and you get the remaining 1 or 2 or whatever you're going to invest in and let it go. Because it doesn't matter, man.
It's random. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. If it was any sort of proof that, like, no, number 7 always wins, then everybody would be like, all right, 7.
Yeah,
you never raffle ever again.
I was watching.
I know 7's gonna win.
I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw this one guy. I don't remember their name, doing a raffle, and he said you must pick your number. And I'm like, why?
Just put my name in.
Matter. But I'm not gonna give you my money anyway. I'm probably gonna lose, and that's a waste of money.
Yeah.
I just do not get them.
Yeah.
Although that's what had me intrigued with that Linda Carter slot machine, though. That might be nice.
Yeah. I've seen that. I've seen that one. Really nice. Like, if you win, she turns around. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, when she spins from Diana into Wonder Woman, that's when you win your bonus games, which is really where you pick up your big money. And they give you an option of 8, 16, and I think 30. But a normal person says, well, I take 30 free games, but they only replace like a couple of the numbers with wild in the 30s.
Yeah,
where if you pick the 8
usually
games,
the low
you
ones
replace many of them with wild. So I played it in all different levels. I've done actually quite good sometimes with that, but for me, with the little video clips that they play and stuff in between, even if you're losing, for me it's still entertaining. I understand the game. I understand how it scores. And an interesting little side note, because they're using footage from the Linda Carter TV show. Right. Beatrice Coleman, who was an actress that played Etta Candy in season 1, she's passed away for several decades now of cancer. But her widower told me told me that because they used her video clip in that slot machine every once in a blue moon, that every 4 months he gets a check for $200.
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So she's still making income, even though she's been gone for a few decades. So,
so just want to say what's up to Kyle Walker.
Yay, Kyle.
Hey. We were talking about him earlier.
I don't.
Now Kyle can tell us exactly what numbers he's missing.
Yeah,
I know he's missing. I know he's missing number 1. I want to say maybe 4.
Something was a random one. I wasn't like he could easily get, but he just hadn't located it. I remember that.
He's missing X-Men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Hey, Kyle, Southern Comic Geek is selling his entire X-Men run, completed 1 through whatever. Hit him up.
See, now it's starting to create a blood feud. It's like, All three of them. I'm like, I need that number one.
I wonder if Al already messaged him, man. Southern Comic
You can
Geek,
take
man.
whatever you want. Number one.
Al, you're
That'd
gonna be on
cool.
tonight, right?
So long as
we will be
Yes.
on tonight at 8:45. As a matter of fact, I got to
Okay.
get ready to move out. So I got a few things I got to do before the show. So if anyone is able, Comic Hall Crew, we changed the name last week. 8:45 live stream tonight on YouTube. My topic will be why
1, 3,
is
4, 5, and 8.
why is
Damn, I got 2 of those.
why
I
is
know it's
manga
58.
outselling comic books? So that's our topic for tonight. So
I
What was
would have
it
had 3
again?
of those, except I
why
sold
is manga outselling comic books?
really mangas.
Manga is
are
actually outselling comic
Yeah.
books. Yep.
Yep.
Wow.
It's been for a while. It's been for a little while.
There's this one manga called Demon Slayer. It's an anime. Apparently, last year it sold over 82 million units in reference to the volume that it was in. So they're saying it outsold.
But don't forget, because now comic books aren't in bookstores. Mangas are in bookstores now. They're
That's
in.
right. That's right.
They're in. You know what? They're almost in every type of store you can think of.
Well, there's
even
that,
carries it
and
sometimes.
American comics aren't really big in Japan,
No.
Right.
but the manga is.
Oh yeah, or Hong Kong at all.
Even
They're
though
not big,
the character, that's what we're going to discuss, because even though the characters are popular in those areas, the books aren't being sold. So
Yeah. And
it's hard for them to get it. It's because I've asked a couple of guys that work, comic shops in Hong Kong, and they said it's hard for them to get it, and they normally sit on it too. They sit if somebody wants it, they'll be sitting on it, and mostly it's expats that want that stuff. It's not the guys that are, born and raised in Hong Kong.
Dusty, did you say you changed the name?
Yeah, it's just the Comic Crew. The Comic Hall Crew.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure
Yeah, I put the link in the description.
Oh, thank you,
There's
buddy.
a couple of
Thank
links
you.
in the description.
Thank you.
Yeah. I remember Kyle's numbers now. I know it was 1 and 4. I forgot about 3. And I remember 58 because I showed him. I was like, I got a 58. He's like, oh, sold on you, mate. Sold on you. Like, every time he gets mad, he just says, just sod. Sold on you. But yeah, Kyle.
Me and Steve probably can get him to 58. It's probably going to be easy to get him to 58.
All right, Kyle, you heard that. You got to hit these guys
I think
up.
that's the first Havoc or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yep, that's the first Havoc.
Yep. 58 might be the easiest one to get out of.
I already had it. I gave it away. I gave it to Bueller.
So here's the question though, Kyle. When you get 1, 3, 4, and 58, what are you collecting then?
Yeah,
I mean,
like how I got Vampy 46 today. My
that's a good question. I think he would move on to Hulk after that.
Yeah,
because I know he's a big Hulk guy. Like Kyle's collections that he likes is he's definitely into the 2008 Judge Dredd's.
Okay, so
obviously X-Men and X-Men related, and then I think Hulk and Thor are the other 2 big ones that he's into.
So for anyone on the panel, if you're going to collect Hulk, a complete Hulk run, do you include 1 through 6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6?
Yeah, do you include 1 through 6, or do you start at 102? And if you include 1 through 6, are you also including all the Tales to Astonish?
Oh boy, that's
when it comes to that, I mean, I know my finances. I know so. I mean, 1 through 6. I mean, they exist, but they're also in another dimension. As far as for me, if I was gonna try to do that, like it's just like I don't think I ever really could. I mean, unless I sold off a lot of stuff.
Believe it or not, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of Hulk in low grade
are
not that expensive compared to
they're too. Yeah, some of them are like 600 to 1,000.
You could probably buy an actual. I don't know. You might have to go to 0.5, but you could buy a graded copy of each one of those for under $500. You have to get real low though, but you can.
The number one that's going to kill you.
Yeah, that's the one that killed you.
What up, who that?
What's up,
man? Florida takeover.
He's going to the Ocean Walk. Apparently, that's what it says behind him.
So who that you leaving this week?
I'm already here.
You're here.
Yeah,
you're here.
Are you staying in? Are you staying there like Disney or Universal?
I'm in West Palm Beach.
Are
Oh,
they making y'all wear masks there still?
Nah, I was wearing when we were in a nail salon.
Okay.
Is it like 1,000,000 degrees down there?
It's not as bad as Louisiana.
So how?
It's humid, but it was overcast today.
So what all you do to your nails?
It's my daughter's birthday, of course.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to your daughter, man.
Happy birthday.
Allie, it's Bonnie's birthday. She 5 or 6?
6.
I'll have to tell Allie because Allie did not know that.
Yeah, she's let's see if I don't even know how you do this. She's over there.
You used to be able to flip it. Not no more.
When we're hanging on the office, our daughters take that over all the time, showing each other toys and stuff. And then me and Hudat were just sitting there chilling, and they are going back and forth talking about toys. And then like Hudat's like, he's like, "Did you see this? Did you hear this?" He's like, "I don't know about you, but I see 1,000,000 subs on this one." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like 1,000,000 subs. He's like, "Easy, just give them to their own show." Just showing toys back and forth.
They're showing toys back and forth. That's all.
I gotta go. Wonderful being with you guys today. It was awesome.
See you later.
Thanks for showing up, G-Man.
Yeah, I'm going to make my bro, guys. I see y'all.
See you, fellas.
Later.
Later, guys.
Easy.
Join them. Man, who that? We've been wondering, man, if there was a day, because I didn't get a response on your message.
I've been busy. We had a birthday party yesterday before we left. It's been the last few days, and I'm tired.
Yeah, whenever you get the chance, though, man. Whenever you get the chance.
And then I'm gonna talk to her and see what we got, because I know we had plans like every day.
Yeah, if there's plans every day, then if we can't make it happen, we can't make it happen.
She said she's gonna try. We're gonna make it happen. We just hadn't talked about it since I think a couple of days ago, because of my daughter's birthday and then flying down here and all of that stuff.
So how many of you guys are in Florida right now?
Well, the top row here.
The whole top row.
Yeah, no, I'm in Boston. Trust me. Like the only time I'd be in Florida, I'd be in Disney.
Well, hey, if you were in Florida, I figured you was on vacation. Don't worry.
No, well, that's my wife's thing. My wife loves Disney, so it's like that's the only excuse to go to Florida. It's like, oh, we're gonna see Mickey Mouse again. It's like, okay, well, I feel like I lived there. I've been there like a bunch of times for the past couple years.
Wait a minute. So if you're in Boston, then what state are you in, Lasso? I'm in Alabama.
I'm in Wisconsin.
Ah.
So Robert and him are the closest to each other.
Yep, I'm all the way up north.
Wow. I'm so close to Iowa, though. Literally, you could throw a stone across the Mississippi River and
Wait a minute, so
you're close to Jeff Silversmith, then.
Yeah.
Yeah, not far from Jeff. Yeah.
So how far is I-65 from you?
There's no I-65 in Florida.
No I-65.
We got the worst eye ever.
It's an I-10.
All our eyes are horrible.
I-10,
Being in that part of the country, how are the shops over that, like in Wisconsin, Iowa area?
How's the what?
How's the comic shops over in that area?
They're pretty decent. You'll find some good stuff. My LCS that I use is in Madison, which is a little bit of a haul, but I have such a relationship built up with them for a few decades. My LCS doesn't actually do back issues, which saves me a lot of money. And in one way that's really good, in one way it's not, because I love back issues more than I love the current issues. So
yep, that's me.
It's a bit of a trade-off, but to hit Chicago isn't that bad. So,
that's cool.
Oh, I just pulled up the map. Wisconsin's over more than I thought it was. Yeah, you don't get I-65 in your state.
hey, Lasso was looking up in his mind like it was going to pop up.
Yeah,
I was thinking if I-65 went through your state, You should come to Huntsville next time their convention happens.
Yeah, I heard that was a good convention. I know when Jason went down there, he had a lot of fun, and I think Comics Boo went down too and had a good time.
Yeah, and Two Brothers and Lady Fantastic. Yep. Flash by Night, me.
The convention that I heard of down south that was really, I mean, it looked awesome for the guest list was I think Heroes Con in North Carolina.
Yeah,
like, it was jam packed like 2 years ago. It was, like I was jealous when I saw how many people.
It's either that one or MegaCon for 2022 that I'm going to go to. Whichever one gives me their information first, I'll
yeah. I just saw the guest list. I think it was like 2019. It was either 2019 or 18. And I mean, it was just so many artists and everything. I was so jealous, and I know that Justin Exile State was going with Comically Flawed, and he's like, oh yeah, we're going down for this, and I'm like, and they're like, oh, check the guest list, so you should probably try to make it if you can. And I was just like, I'm so jealous of you guys. I was like, you have everybody going to this thing. I was just like their list, like I think a fourth of that list. The Boston Con is like 1/4 of that size. I was like, how do you get so many people in there? And I was like, it's a $3-day con. He's like, yep. I was like, how are you gonna see everybody? He's like, oh, I don't know. He's like, well, we're gonna have to make a day out of it though. So it was crazy. It was just like it was so many good guests. I was like, I'm jealous of that one. So that one, you know, as far as venturing out, I mean, I really don't usually leave the Northeast.
They got I think you have Neil Adams almost every year, Steranko almost every year.
Yeah,
Neil Adams got a whole space to himself with his big ass booth.
Yeah, I saw Jim Shooter 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Well, they had like Scotty Young and everything. They had a ton of people. I was like, whoa! I was just taken back.
I've heard a story about Neil from Joe Jusco watching an interview where Neil actually had went to the bathroom one time, and a fan actually followed him to the bathroom and slid a book under the stall.
Oh my god!
Like he knocked on the Joe said he knocked on the stall door and said, "Mr. Adams." And all he said he saw,
I would have peed on it.
I know that would have been the end of that comic.
Yeah, all he saw was he told I think he told he told Joe was all he saw was a book and a Sharpie come from under the stall. He goes,
oh my god!
Like Neil, what was it? Like Joe said, I would have said, oh, I have my own ink. I would.
That's awesome.
That's ridiculous.
Dude, that's messed up. If you see your favorite creator go to the bathroom, don't follow him to the bathroom and try to get
that's like
creeper.
That's like what's it called? That's like was it misery level? You know,
stalker.
Fandom.
Yeah, stalker.
Yeah.
Like,
I would feel bad asking him in the elevator to sign something because he's not prepared to.
Yeah.
Oh man, it just.
When you say misery, all I can see is that guy's feet getting broke on them blocks, man.
God!
I mean, because if someone's sliding you a bathroom, I mean, sorry, a book into the bathroom, like you have to wonder, like, okay, because as much as you want to be mean, like, oh, you know, I'll do this and that. It's like you gotta wonder what's on the other side of that stall. It's like it might be someone that's like gonna sit there and poison you and take you away.
Yeah, but you're taking a dump on the toilet. No one is going to be able to control themselves with feces being shoved in their face.
Oh yeah, I would
be okay.
I got a little doggy bag for you. It's signed.
I just don't know. I mean, if it's trying to even
like Joe's heard this story from Neil himself. Like Neil's told him the story, and a couple other people that heard it from Neil actually confirmed this story. Like this guy actually followed into the bathroom, knocked on it.
Well, look, I'll say this: MegaCon's gonna have George Perez again, and we ain't had George Perez at MegaCon since for like 4 years. I'm gonna meet him. But I ain't gonna do something like that. You know, I'm gonna stand in line. I'm gonna meet him traditionally.
Hey,
I gotta meet George Perez.
Don't worry, we got a whole crew this time to stand in line for you. So if you get tired,
But fair warning, he does tickets now because he's retired. It's only because of the pandemic he's showing up any place other than Dragon Con.
Right.
So he's doing tickets now. So make sure you're there in the morning or whenever and get you a ticket, and then you'll only be able to get up to 3 things signed for free, and that's it.
Wow, see, because he's done the ticket thing for a while. The ticket thing he's been doing since about 2013. But the thing is, he would sign anything. He didn't care. He like as much as you had, he would sign it all.
I'm guessing I can't get a sketch. I'm guessing.
You probably
I used to do sketches.
I guess you'd have to ask if that's available, but probably not.
When I met him, which was his first appearance after announcing his retirement,
right?
They did away with the ticket system. It was just first come, first serve in line. He would sign up to 5 things, and he would do sketches for 5 people, but that had to be all done ahead of time, and you picked them up after time.
Yeah. I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's still. I mean, I'm sure he's fully recovered from the heart attack, but I don't know if.
Oh yeah, he had
drawing at the con.
This was after the heart attack when I saw him.
Yeah.
So
and it was that's probably too stressful for him to do.
Here's the thing why I failed to meet him last time, because number one, his line was always capped off. He always had panels that he was a part of.
Right.
And then the third thing was, oh damn, you will.
Yeah, but we're not worried.
But
you should just hold that up at the screen the whole time, Will.
But the third reason I couldn't really make his lines most of the time was because I had my younger cousins with me, and I gotta keep them out all the time, and they don't like to stand in line, and I'm like, I got these annoying ass cousins that don't want to stand in line with me to meet George Perez. I gotta keep moving and stuff, so I couldn't really deal with it at that time. So when he announced that he was retiring, I was kind of like, damn, man, I missed my opportunity.
But
so this time I'm gonna get it.
He said he's retiring, but there's 2 conventions that he will continue to go to.
Yeah,
one of them isn't comic related, so you can't.
I know that. I know the first one.
Yeah, the last one is Dragon Con, and he's on the thing for this year.
The first one is here in Florida every year, so that's the only one.
Fetish Con.
Yeah,
and we know why he goes to Dragon Con, because shit, Dragon Con be popping with cosplayers,
Yeah, I know.
Those female cosplayers.
He is, as my friend said, he's a great artist, but also dirty old man. He's in that freaky stuff.
I've seen him at I've bounced at the Fetish Con before, and I've seen him a couple of times. I'm like, I'm like, is that George Perez? Like, I want to see him walk by. I'm like, I'm not gonna say nothing, but I think that was George Perez that walked by.
It was. he goes to that thing.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's into, but he goes to it.
My wait was 4 hours and 50 minutes, and it was worth it.
Like I said, I'm gonna wait
for Fetish Con or George Perez.
George
How long did you wait?
4 hours and 50 minutes.
Yeah, man.
Oh man,
you guys should go to Dragon Con if you want to get artists to sign something, because it's not just a comic convention, so there's not that many people in line. I mean, once the line officially opened, it was like 10 minutes, and I got to see George.
Yeah.
And I got a ticket every day. I got like 12, 15 things signed. It was awesome.
Yeah, but like if we're gonna be doing Thursday, if we're gonna be doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday for MegaCon, it's you know what I mean. At least me and Puff can go on Thursday. We'll stay in line together.
I won't be there on Thursday.
Okay.
I won't be there. I'll be there Friday, but it'll probably be around the afternoon time, like 1-2 o'clock.
That's fine. It's just like I said, I'll make sure to I'll go see if he's there Thursday. I'll go there Thursday and make sure to grab. I'll ask him if I can grab an extra ticket. I got a friend come in, the next day. And
no, I don't care about that stuff. I'll just get Sean something, whatever, if he wants something.
Yeah, me too. But I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna ask him to see if he can do. I want to see him do a vampy sketch. That's what I want to see him do. But
what's up, Comic Crack? How's it going?
So I understand there's jobs and there's work and schedules and everything, but I got it. If a con's 4 days, I'm going 4 days. If it's 5 days, I'm going 5 days, man.
That's
how do you guys? How are you able to stand to? I mean, I know there's reasons, but okay.
It was me and George. Many pounds ago. Me and George.
Yeah, we'll get an epic one. We'll get it with the whole Silver 8 Sunday crew if we got to.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. No, he's a sweetheart, man.
Yeah,
like literally, he's an amazing.
Personalized, I like it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He did sketches free. That's why I was wondering. I don't think he's gonna do them free now, but
they were. I think it was for a basic sketch $100, and that was all going to charity.
That's fine with me. If it's only
George, when he does charge, it's way cheaper than guys at his caliber that do charge.
Yeah.
I
mean, like you said, like he used to be just go up and just. I mean, you could bring a stack. I saw people bring short boxes to him, and he signed every single one of them. Yeah. So he was always about that. Like he didn't care about that type of stuff. His handlers used to get freaked out. Like, dude, George, the line's out of control. Like you gotta start capping it off. And he's like, no, everybody gets their time. He's like, they came to see me. I'm gonna give them, what they came to expect.
That's what I loved about George was he goes, dude, they stood in line for me for this long. I'm gonna try to sign every single person.
Yeah. And he was
always for health.
Yeah. And he's always, every time I see him, he's high spirits, nice guy. Always love to get great photos with you and stuff.
Yeah, he's also high energy, man. He goes like 500 miles an hour.
And he's also like just a huge when it comes to the whole thing about enjoy the con. Like he's like you just go enjoy the con. Like if I pass your number and you come back, like if you're number 72 and I'm up to 67, he's like, when you come back, he's like, I'm taking you next. I don't care who's after you. Like everybody gets their time, so go enjoy. So he was always big about like you don't have to stay and wait. Just when I call your number, just come up. Like don't worry about it. And it's just like he's a super nice guy. Like one of my favorite people I've ever met as far as any con.
Yeah, I met him one time, but that was when I got back into collecting. I met him that one time, but I didn't take a picture because the friend wanted a sketch, and then we were running around. I'm like, that's the one time, but I want to meet him again. I don't mind meeting him again. He was really nice. Did the sketch, did a nice Thanos sketch for him free. And
he does amazing sketches.
He's all about those photos. I changed phones, so all I have is the one I showed you guys. But at one point, I had like 6 different pictures of me and George. Every time I'd get through a different day, he'd be like, "You want a picture?" And the first time he asked, I said, "No, thank you," because I'm not that kind of guy. But he looked so sad. I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll take one." He gets up, he's so funny, and he basically just engulfs you as you.
I'm right around you. He's an awesome guy. Actually,
I'm gonna get
funny enough,
Blake and ask him to sketch it. If it's only gonna cost me like $100, it's not gonna be bad, man. I'm gonna ask him to sketch me a Vampy for sure.
But that's the thing.
You guys who have seen George, let me ask you this: have you seen him when a bunch of Starfire cosplay or anything like that comes in? Because he turns into Fetish Con George. And he's like, "Oh, my Corey's, come, let's take a picture."
So it wasn't that. It was a Holly and Poison Ivy. But yes, he was very excited to meet those girls. He was like, "Oh no, we gotta get a picture." He's like, "Come see me," and then they're like, "Yeah, okay." So he's not as much as he's dirty, but he's respectable dirty. He's not like, "Hey, baby, come on," you know what I mean? He's he doesn't creep them out. He's just like, "Oh no, I really want to get a picture. Like I'm really just your costumes are amazing. Can I get a picture?" And they're like, "Yeah, no problem." Yeah. So, but I've seen that before.
We were at a panel he was doing for the Teen Titans, and there were like I think 10 or 12 Starfires.
Wow.
And they were very, we'll say, comics accurate. Starfires from the 80s. And when it was over with, he stopped and said, "Oh, my Corys. I have to get a picture with all my Corys." And they were doing different poses. He was holding different ones. I went up and talked to the other guy that was doing the thing, left. He was still posing and taking pictures.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah.
I'll say this much. I mean, just because I've met him twice, and both times he was awesome. And he's definitely somebody like if you have the opportunity, you never got to, you have to because he's an amazing guy. And if you've had the privilege once, you got to do it again just to be able to say, George, I've missed you because he's an awesome guy.
If it's just once, I just want to be able to meet the guy and talk to him and just to get that photo because he's a great guy from everything.
You never know when it'll be a Stan Lee situation. I'm so glad I got to meet and say hey to Stan. He couldn't hear anything, didn't even realize I was there. But hey, I got to say hi to Stan and walk around.
I got my photo out with him. Me, my father, and my brother, and we couldn't touch him, do anything. He's like, don't touch him, don't do anything. Stand there, take the photo.
That's the best
take
story
the
out
photo.
of all of us. Out of all of us, Mr. White Gloves got the best story out of all of us.
Because
Mr. White Gloves is scared the crap out of him though.
Yeah, but I'll never forget. Like after the photo, after they took the photo, he said, "Great shot, fellas." And then it's that Stan Lee how he says it, "Great shot, fellas." And I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah, I missed my opportunity. I had the opportunity once, and it was only going to cost like $100. I just was like, I just don't have the time right now, and this and that. And the next time he came through, it was like way more, and I was like, oh man, I can't afford to meet Stan because like all I really wanted to say to him was thank you. That's it. Like, I mean, I was gonna give him the what if the original Marvel bullpen was the Fantastic Four comic to sign. And then, of course, I would have got a picture, and then I just wanted to say, I just want to say thank you. That's all. Like, just
man, I'm not that old, but I have learned in my few years, you need to just go ahead and, as long as you can afford it, do some of those things because he's dead now. There's no way you can do it. Right. So take your picture with George. If there's someone you would like to meet, like if William Shatner, he's almost every year he's at Dragon Con.
He's at MegaCon this year.
Oh, he is? Well, anyway, if I was at MegaCon, I don't care if it costs $150 or whatever it costs. I'm gonna meet me William Shatner because it's William freaking Shatner, man.
Yeah,
Linda Carter, same thing. Meet the original woman.
Oh God, yeah, yes. Linda. Oh, Linda is something else. I've never met her, but I've been, I've seen the artist area. Like she's still smoking, and then what's it called? I've Shatner's line in Boston was ridiculous. Like even if I wanted to meet him, his line was so long. It was like it probably would have took like 4 or 5 hours to get through. And then I remember
line that spooky. It was probably like that Elvira line that spooky, or it was like the
Elvira's from up here. That's the thing. Elvira is from up here, so like there was like a million times. So the big meet Elvira, Cassandra Peterson, and it's just like. She was because she lives around here, she used to go to Spooky World all the time. So it's like, I mean, everybody had the chance to meet her a million times. And it's just like, it's funny though, just because it's like one of those things where like people don't really think about. They're like, Elvira. And people, I think, especially people nowadays, like younger people, have no idea how popular she was in the '80s. Like she was like, I mean, she was iconic.
Yeah.
My heart's on fire for her.
I remember actually the closest thing to something like that. I remember 2019, the Boston Fan Expo. They had the cast of Boy Meets World, and I was just like, I don't care about none of the rest of them. Topanga's here. I was just like, I gotta see Topanga. So I saw her up close. Oh my gosh, she's still smoking. She's tiny, but she's smoking. Yeah. And you know who else is extremely pretty is what's it called? Nebula. Karen Gillan, she is very, very pretty. Yeah. I was shocked at how pretty she was. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, man.
She shaved her head for
I'm so thankful that I got to meet Stan and meet other people too, and I'm going to continue to meet people because that's what's fun about going to these things.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to charge me $2,000, okay, maybe we don't meet them.
Right.
But my favorite person that's still alive to have met was Carrie Ells.
Oh, Wesley from Princess Bride?
Yeah.
If I get a chance to meet him, I might go cosplay as Men in Tights, man.
You gonna be Little John?
I'd love to see that.
I'll be Little John, man.
You should be Little John.
No, there was a bunch of people. Like, I mean, they have a lot of celebrities that go to the Fan Expo. So, I mean, I haven't met them, but I've seen them from afar. Like, I saw John Travolta. I was shocked. John Travolta's bald. I couldn't believe it. I was like, he's bald? But, it's funny because, he looks. I mean, it's probably been plastic surgery to keep him looking, but he looks in fantastic shape. One of the most sad things that I saw was Tim Curry, because he was in really rough shape because he had a stroke not too long before coming. So he was talking like in slow motion. I was like, oh, that's sad. But I mean, he still came out and did it. But
especially being known for his voice.
Yeah, but the thing with him now is anything that you get signed, he doesn't. You have to give it to his handlers, and like if it's posters and stuff, they get sent back to you. They don't. He doesn't sign them complete. Like if it, I forgot the whole damn reason, but he was at I think a MegaCon a couple of years ago where there was he would have to if the line's at a cap, but if you have stuff for them to sign, he'll sign it, but you guys won't get it back until he gets a chance to, or the next mail. Yeah. They'll mail it back to you. That's how it works now with him.
So Lasso, have you ever got to meet a live action Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Which one?
Linda. Whew. I had a great experience with Linda. About 10 years ago, she was trying her hand to see if she wanted to go back into doing concerts and singing, which is actually how she got her start before she was an actress. After Beauty Queen, singer, then actress. But so she was doing like a trial run for a week in Chicago. And I called the day the tickets went on sale. I called and I said, what night can you get me the closest to the stage? And they said, Saturday night, I can put you right up. I can front row table. I said, do it. So I went, I got all dressed up, had a tie on, had my suit on, looking sharp. And before then, I had worked pretty much every angle I had with my career. I had some ties into publicists and stuff too, and had done press with some artists and stuff. I worked every angle I could because Linda Carter was the new angle for me to try. And nobody said no, I couldn't meet her, but nobody was saying yes. What they were telling me was, check in when you get there and we'll see how she feels that night. Well, I checked in when I got there and they said, after the show, she's going to spend a few moments with you. And I said, yeah. They said, they said, don't leave when the show gets over. Stay in your seat. We know where you're sitting at. We're going to come and get you. And they did. But first of all, the show starts, she starts singing off stage and she walks through the audience to make her way onto the stage. And I was so close to the stage, I could touch the stage with my foot. And and I couldn't believe it when my eyes first saw her. I'm like, that is Wonder Woman. I'm like, that's her. And we go through the entire show. Everything's great. I had a fantastic time. We get done. They come out and they get me. They say, okay, we're going to take you to go see Linda. And there's a few other people ahead of me in line. And when it gets to my turn, just about a moment before, I flash back to how when I was a little kid, I used to watch Wonder Woman. I'd go into my bedroom and just pray someday that I could meet Linda Carter. And I told her that story, and all of a sudden the arms come out towards me. And I'm like, oh, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, she's hugging me. And there's a picture of her hugging me. And she says, look, she says, I need to be the one who thanks you. She said, you got all dressed up tonight. You sat in the front row and you smiled at me the entire time I was singing. And I felt so great while I was doing my show because of you. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God.
Good time to die.
Kind of internally, I was like, picture a chocolate chip in the microwave.
Yep. Just
that was me. And to be honest with you, I don't think I ever want to meet her again because that experience was so good. I don't think anything could ever replicate that.
Yeah.
But would you be interested, if you could, in meeting Gal Gadot?
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm in for that one.
I have a signed photo, a signed and personalized photo from Gal already, although I haven't met her. But I already have like a little fund set aside, my Meet Gal Gadot fund, that however long it takes to happen, it will happen. And if it costs,
I'm going to ask you what that's at every week and see if you're really asking that.
I am. I'm after
it's definitely probably going to be 2022 at the earliest, because we'll be okay here in the U.S. and then other people will feel good to come in and all that.
Well, you know,
She might be at cons in 2020.
another problem is every time she does a Wonder Woman movie, as soon as it gets done, she has a baby. She's expecting right now. So
Yeah.
So when she's done, when she has this baby, she'll do another Wonder Woman movie. And then if I could catch her before she has another baby in between, that's probably my best bet.
What? No. What we should try to do is get him a role for the next movie.
I would be good with that. I don't care if she kills me.
Are they making a third one? Because it was a little. The second one, people were.
The second one wasn't as beloved as the first one, but I have to say the second one was a huge moneymaker for.
Okay.
And there is a third one on the way. They've already guaranteed, and they're fast tracking it. As a matter of fact.
Well, as long as they don't do what they did for the second one, I think they can do a really great movie. The first one was amazing. The second one was okay. The third one, now they know what's good and what's not good. I think that it'll be one of the. It may be the better than the first one if they do it right.
We need a petition one for so Lasso can get in the movie for the third one.
I would be in the movie. Harvey Jenkins. I mean, I'm beautiful. I got a photogenic face. Come and get me.
I have not seen that.
I have seen that because I saw the movie it was in. I didn't know it was in there. And yeah, it was great scene.
What you should do is you should look to see if they're doing an extra. Like, is there a scene where she's in a restaurant? You could be like just a waiter, like, oh man, your meal. You want to get you get to get your acting credit, and like, all right. And then what you do, but you just mess it up a couple times. It's like, oh, I forgot my line. Let me go back and do this again.
Yeah.
It's like, why is this restaurant scene taking so long? Like, I have my reason.
Who would each of you like to meet that you could meet realistically if you were to go to a con that they were at?
Patrick Stewart.
That's cool.
That's
cool. Yeah.
You talk about like Next Generation was my introduction to Star Trek, and he's my captain. Like I love James, I love Shatner, and I love the other captains, especially Cisco. But I always had a fond memories of watching Sir Charles in Star Trek and the Next Generation, and I know Data's going to be at MegaCon. He's going to be there. I missed the opportunity to meet Worf at Tampa Bay Con a couple years ago, and Jonathan Frakes. So, like, the dream meeting is Patrick Stewart, so I can meet him and just say I met Jean-Luc Picard.
Man.
Mine would be, let's see. Well, it would be the actress from '96 Vampy. It would be kind of cool too. If she did do con. Yeah. Got it. But honestly, Kurt Russell would be one.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's a good choice. Snake Plissken.
I'd like to meet Goldie Hawn.
Yeah. So me and Lasso can do this husband and wife thing.
Yeah, I'm a huge Goldie Hawn fan.
Yeah.
Steve, you got anybody?
Anybody what?
Any celebrity or comic creator that you want to meet?
That you can realistically meet if you just go to the con that they're at?
Well, Bradley Cooper ain't gonna be there because he's the voice of my boy. He's gonna be there. So if he goes to one, I would like to meet him. That'd be really not too many. I'd like to meet Gal Gadot. That sounds great to me.
Yeah, but your chance if you go to the same con that she's at isn't as good as like most people though.
Yeah. Not good at all.
I'd still try if she was.
Hey,
there
but I'll get close enough where I can see her. You can believe that. I'll ease up there. I'll have me a broom and a sweeping like I'm cleaning up.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because a comic creator. I mean, I've met a good amount of the comic creators I want to meet.
Creator wise.
I think as as far as like actors, I think it would be really cool. I would say probably Batista would be cool. I think he's somebody that'd be accessible.
He's gonna be at MegaCon.
Yeah, I think he would be a really cool one to meet. Just because I'm trying to think like without getting so far outside of the realm of, because it's like, you know, if we're going a situation of like anybody at all like type situation, I think I would say probably Samuel L. Jackson, just because of how much stuff he's been in and just like just how over the top of a person that he is and everything. It's like that would be a really fun guy to meet.
I would have said Chadwick Boseman, but sucks.
Yeah.
Because I would love to meet him, because man, he's good in everything, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got me a Black Panther book signed. That would have been awesome.
The amount of times you'll say motherfucker with Samuel Jackson will be on point.
Oh, that would be awesome. That's what I'd want to see him do. Like, you know what I mean? Literally, I'd be like, all right, you know, would you mind recording an intro for my channel? Like, watch Boston Chris, motherfucker. Like, oh my god, that'd be it. I would just like,
yeah, that would be awesome too. Get some of them guys to do intros for our channels.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like the fun part. It's like, was it Claremont did one for the New York Warriors? That was cool. He's just like, you're watching the New York Warriors. Behave yourself when you're in Brooklyn. Like that was funny. And then was it? I think Neil Adams did one for somebody, and then Ken Lashley did one for Who Dat. You know,
I wish Neil Adams would do one for Biggie Shaq.
Biggie Shaq.
Neil Comic Trip asked Neil Adams to do one, that YouTube channel, and he did it, but he sort of trolled them because he said their name wrong.
Yeah. No, Neil's a good dude. I mean, he's another one he's a sweet. Like, I know some people have had different things. Anytime I've talked to him, he's super nice. Like, he'll just let you talk about anything. His wife is different though. His wife is just like, we have stuff to sell here. Like, so you're gonna buy something? Oh no, I was just talking to Neil. Well, then can you move it along because you're distracting him? And Neil's just like, and then another thing that happened when I was doing this, and it's just like he loves telling stories. Same with Steranko. Steranko loves telling stories. He's a cool dude. He really
I want to meet both of them, but the person that I would really like to meet from my childhood is, I'm kind of with Sean, is any of the Star Trek series people, especially the ones that voiced characters on Gargoyles, like Marina Sirtis, Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah. Was it who did Goliath? Who's the guy that did Goliath's voice?
Keith David.
Oh.
Yeah, he would be
Keith
awesome.
David,
He was Spawn.
Spawn, Keith David, and then I mean all the video games that he did.
Yeah,
I would love to meet Keith David.
He was was it Soul Reaver, right?
Yeah.
Was he? Yeah, he was
plus,
you know,
plus his debut movie, he survived at the end of the thing. I was like,
Platoon?
The Thing.
The Thing.
Oh, The Thing. I was gonna say he was in Platoon too. He was cool in Platoon, but he's another one. Like,
he's in a lot of great movies.
Hey Sean,
after
y'all were talking about The Thing with Hialeah, I told him, hey man, I hate to admit this, but I've never seen that movie. Man, Hialeah,
it's a great movie.
What? Are you crazy?
I haven't either.
You gotta see that tonight.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah.
I
It's a
watched
great
it,
movie.
and that was my favorite part, was the end. Them two survived. I could just imagine them with a beard this long, never moving. They didn't want to move.
Yeah, because they didn't know who was the thing.
Yeah, they didn't want to move. They were like, hell no.
Well, you know what's crazy though? Like as far as you know, when you look at iconic like voices, just whether it be, you know, voice over, narration, he's up there. Like he's up there with James Earl Jones and Morgan Freeman. Like he is definitely the guy who's got just an amazingly iconic voice. And it's just like, you know, he doesn't get enough credit for being just that amazing of a person. And on top of that too, he can do anything. Like because he is a funny dude. Like I mean, I've seen, you know, just when he was the dad in Something About Mary, he's hilarious in that. Like he's got so much range that like it's kind of crazy to think like how underrated he is as an actor, as far as like people don't give him that credit.
I liked him. What was it, the third or the fourth Saints Row game where him and Piper was together in They Live? You know, I love They Live, but when they brought them back for that video game appearance, I was like, oh shit, Roddy Piper's back in the video game with Keith David, and they played off the They Live storyline. That shit was awesome.
Well, you ever see Dead Presidents? Because he's not funny in that. He's he's very good, but he has this one great comic relief role. I mean, there's one great comic relief moment where he's sitting there and the guy, so he's beating up some guy that owes him money, and the guy like tries to grab his leg to get him to stop kicking him, and he pulls it out because it's a false leg. He's like, "Give me back my leg, motherfucker!" Like that shit was fun. Like, and he like rolls away. Oh my god, it was hilarious. Like he's a great actor.
Man. He definitely is one person that I would love to meet.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. He's somebody who I think really, if he doesn't do cons, like he should, because man, he's just so iconic in so many different aspects of you know.
I told the story on last week's stream with VV, but I was fortunate enough when I was younger that I met Ernie Hudson.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, when he came to this, it wasn't even a show. Like we went to this little space exhibit, you know, to see some exhibit of space and stuff, and he came with his family. And you know, like I see him coming with all these people, and I'm like, that's Winston Zeddemore. So you know, I put my hand out, and you shook my hand.
That's Winston.
Yeah, Winston Zeddemore. So I'm like, you know, my dad got a little signature from him, and then we met him after the exhibit ended. You know, got a little picture and stuff. And for the life of me, I can never find that picture, but I still got the memory of meeting him. You know, and you know, Ghostbusters is my favorite movie, so it was awesome to see Ernie Hudson right there.
He's probably got the third best line in that entire movie, where it's just like, "I have seen shit that will turn you white," and he's like
yeah. And the dude, he still looked great for his age today in his 70s.
Oh yeah.
He was. I remember he was the warden in Oz. Like he was jacked in Oz. Like he was huge. I was like, dude, no wonder why he's the warden. He beat up all the inmates. But yeah, he's another great guy. That like you know, and I remember it's funny too because it's like a small role, but he was really good in The Crow. Like,
the cop.
Yeah, he was really good in that.
Yeah, you know, I've noticed the super rich people and super famous people. It's hard to meet them, but all the classic actors of like the 80s and the 90s and all the television people, they're the ones you can actually go up and get you an autograph or meet or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another creator that I would want to meet is Joe Jusko. I haven't met him yet, so that'd be a cool one to meet. Jusko be kind of cool to meet.
Oh, I met him. He's also a really cool guy. I told him I was like, you know, I was like joking around with him. I was like, you know, you are the reason that I would say in between fifth grade, between third and fifth grade, I just did not pay attention in class because those Marvel Masterpiece cards, man. As we were sitting there trading them during class. Like I mean, and I was saying to him, I was just like, you know, I didn't know like until I saw those, I didn't know that anybody could draw comic characters like and paint them in such a beautiful way. I was just like,
but Chris, I know a story about that, about those cards, about the first series cards. You know how long did Marvel give them? 3 months, and you know how he did, only 3 months to get those done.
Wow.
Yeah, I watched that interview last night, and I heard it, dude. They said the guys at Marvel said, "You look like straight crap," but they expected him not to get him done. Like he didn't think they were, the Marvel guys didn't give him the benefit of the doubt, and was expecting to farm it off to somebody else if he wasn't able to get them done. He got all those characters done at that time.
Jeez. 3 months.
But he said he'll sleep for 4 hours, draw like 5 of them or like 5 of them at a time, and just because he didn't have he would used to have to make a sketch of it and show him and say, hey, do you okay this or do you got to change? He did it to the first 5, and then they just minuscule changes it. Screw this, I'm just gonna paint them all. It's just like
That's crazy though. But like I mean, to think that that came out. I mean that makes it all the more impressive just because I just remember like just seeing them and it was just like I mean there was so much like not to say the art of comics wasn't good at the time. I mean, it was great at the time. It was just like, but those were just such a different feel. It was just like, I mean, like, and I told him, I was like, I didn't know that some of these characters could look this way. Like, I never, you know, and it's just like, and then you start thinking about art in a different way. Like this is fine art. And that was the thing that was funny was that like later on as I got older and it's like, oh, like, you know, go to the Museum of Fine Arts for this college project. Okay, cool. And I'm like, this is the same stuff that like the Marvel Masterpiece cards. Like this was fine art. Like I never knew that you could do that in fine art. So it was like, you know, to see that as a little kid, like, I mean, we love those cards. That's why we would sit there and like, you know, instead of like, you know, are you paying attention to this problem? Like, oh yeah, of course I am. Anyway, dude, look at this Black Widow card. This is sick.
So is there a creator that wow. Something died in my throat. Is there a creator you guys could care less about, like you don't care about meeting them, You don't care about getting an autograph or anything. For me, that's Frank Miller.
Mine's Liefeld.
Yeah, mine's Liefeld as well.
I met, you know what's funny? I met Rob Life. I didn't get anything signed by him. He just was like a surprise guest at one of the Boston cons. He's a really nice guy. He really like outside of everything. If you're not trying to get, if you're not doing anything like that, he really is a nice guy because nobody's going up to him. So it's like, you know, he's not as bad as people make him out to be as far as a person goes. Now, money wise, I guess he's kind of a jerk, but other than that, he's not a bad guy. I never met Frank Miller though. Frank Miller, he was sick at the time, so but I have no desire to meet him either.
That's too easy. Aside from Liefeld, is there a creator that most people will think you would want to meet that you don't? Mine, Frank Miller.
I'm McFarlane. McFarlane's one of them. Nah. Yeah. So.
I'm trying to think.
I know I had a bad experience with Alex Maleev. You know, he gave off bad vibes, you know, when I met him. So I wouldn't want to meet him
someone
again.
you've never met before.
I wouldn't even want to meet him if I know I'm not interested in him.
I'm trying to think. So someone who I know, you know, that people I guess are really big into, but if I met him, great. If I don't, it's not gonna hurt me. Is Atram. I mean, I'm kind of like, you know, if I meet him, great. If I don't, whatever. Like I don't have a problem.
I met him, and he's just a normal Asian, monotone.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a really nice guy. And
As opposed to one of them evil ones.
I just think of it like
he's just really monotone. You know what I mean? He's not like, you know, like excitable like all the other creators. He's like, you know.
Yeah,
I understand.
I just think of it like, I've never met him, but I just think about like just the hassle it would be to go to a con and like, oh, Atram's here. It's like, yeah, that line's gonna be like 1,000,000 miles long. Like, I don't want to wait in that. So yeah, you know, see you later, Atram. So that's for me.
I met him once and I'm good.
I had a chance to meet Frank Miller, but I didn't really take it because I was like, at that time, he definitely looked sick, like you said, Chris, and I was like, I'm not really interested in meeting him.
Yeah. Well, the thing with him was that like he was sick, and they were charging like a lot of money to see him, and it was just like, and that was the first time that they were just like, it's going to be a conveyor belt thing. So you put your book down, you know, he'll sign it, and then just move on, go away. And I was like, I'm not paying money for that. Like, that's stupid. Like, I mean, I don't have to have a full-on conversation with you. At least would like say, hey, how you doing? How's everything going? You know what I mean? So, but just in general, it's just like, I feel like, you know, he's another one that's like, you know, the lines are crazy, and he's a premium cost. Yeah. So it's just like,
I don't like his art, and like you said, Chris, he's a expensive. It's funny to me how many guys think they can be the new Stan Lee, but no, you can only charge like Stan Lee if you're Stan Lee. Frank, exactly. I think, charges way too much. Yeah. Neil Romita Sr. and Steranko are the only three that I would pay more than $50 for, but I wouldn't pay over 100.
Yeah, but Neil's thing is he was DC's version of pretty much Stan. That's what he was for DC. That's what people say. That's what I hear other creators say, that for DC creators. He was pretty much Stan for DC, pretty much.
Not really, because he didn't create anything. He just made that all better through his art.
Let's make it clear.
Yeah.
Most of his work was successful, not only just because of his art, but because of his pairing with Denny O'Neil. They made such a great pair together, Dennis writing and his art, that's why their work in the Bronze Age was so revered.
But Jack and Stan helped each other to create a bunch of stuff. Neil didn't create much of anything, but when he took Batman, he took him to another level. Same with Deadman. Same with Lois Lane and all the other characters that he's done.
You guys would have laughed because I remember telling Steve this story, and I remember telling Puff this story. When I saw Neil's signature on a Vampy 1, and I'm like, why is his signature on this book? He's not in this book. And then I freaking looked through it. He did a story in the book. I go, oh, okay. I remember telling Steve that. I go, I'm not paying that type of money for a graded book. What is this?
Shit, there's one for sale right now for $15,000 with a sketch from Neil Collins, I think.
And he's never done a bad. Yeah, he's never sketched Vampy. Yeah, and that's the first
in the circle.
Yep.
Yeah, I think a Perez Vampy though would be really, really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
especially like if he's able to, because I know that one of the last few covers he published was a little bit rough looking, but I mean, but it was right after he had his heart attack. So, I mean, if he's back to being able to sketch and you know at least sketch it and make it look good, like I think that would look really good because like
I'm gonna ask because if it's not gonna cost me much, I'm gonna ask him anyway. I'll ask him on Thursday for sure.
What's the breaking point, Jeff? Where is your like? I'm not doing it. If it's more than 100,
if it's 200, it's okay. But if it passes the 3 to 4, 4, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
So if he's saying how much are you hoping this is, and he says 100, and I go like this to him, Jeff's gonna be shut up, man. He'll pay 250. Cool. He'll pay 250. I know what's breaking mark.
That's the opposite of the wingman.
I just think if he's able to do something that's close to like his Scarlet Witch and Wonder Woman type work. Like, but as Vampirilla, that's gonna look really, really nice.
Yeah. Because my thing is, I've honestly never seen one by him, so it'd be kind of cool to have one by him. You know what I mean? That'd be neat.
What is too expensive? Do you guys think in general for like a sketch cover sketch? Because I went up to Michael Golden during the Huntsville Con. And for signature, he didn't charge outrageous or anything, but for his art to draw something, it cost. Hold on, answer that question. I'll show you what I mean here.
So I look at it like this. I think it depends on what they're doing. Like if they're doing a full body, then I would say 300 is probably the max. If they're charging anything more than, I would say maybe like 150, 200, like if it's just like a head or a bust, anything more than 150, 200, that's just crazy tough. Yeah, like something like that. Now see that's real detailed, but something like that I could see like 150, 200, that works for me.
I got this for 100, and this is Brian Stelfleas.
Yes. Yep.
And
amazing.
Hey, Sean, that thing's gonna be worth a lot of money one day. You ain't gonna know it. You ain't gonna be here to see it. But one day, someone's gonna say, "Look at that early picture of," and they're gonna want that.
Well, this might be one of the books that be buried with me because this.
Your answers, his last Twitter thing. Your answers won't get this. Because it will be with me.
No, this is beautiful, man. When I swear, when I told Stelfleas that I wanted Shuri, because for some reason he wasn't doing Black Panther, his face lit up like he was super excited when I said Shuri.
That'll always make him draw better too.
Movie Shuri, and I was like, oh, if his face lit up like that, then he's gonna draw something good. And it only took him a day to do this.
It's not Shuri, but I picked this up the other day too. I forgot about that.
Oh, wait,
is that variant?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Nice. So I was like, as soon as you pulled it, I was like, I gotta show my Black Panther. But yeah, that's really cool. And Stelfleas is a great artist. Like he does really, really good work.
Okay. So I didn't hear most of that. But, okay, this is Keith Giffen, okay?
Okay.
Yep.
This is a comic folio, by the way. This costs like, I think $75.
That's fine.
That's great. Okay, this was about $100. Joe Staton, Power Girl.
Oh
yeah, that's really good.
That's badass.
This was Michael Golden. $90.
$90.
All right. So here's the thing with that. So this kind of comes back to what I was saying. So if it's a head, so it's like a half, let's say like a half torso. It's just the area on it is $90. I'm sure if you put that on a sketch cover, that'd probably be around 300, and that's really kind of pushing it. Because if it's 300, then it should be a full body.
Charging for any sketch cover was like $300. That to me,
yeah.
I mean, look at how my
that's
hand.
detail. That's nice.
That is not $90 to me.
Oh no, that's small, but that's badass.
But did you want it like that, or did he chose to do it like that?
I wanted to get him to do something, and that's the only place and cost I could actually afford. I wasn't going to blow. To do this would have cost me over $300 with Michael Golden.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's too much to me.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Now, if they colored it, okay, but.
Well, I say if it's full body, that's one thing. Because sometimes too, you got to be careful because they sit there and be like, okay, it's going to be $100 just for pencil. Like that includes no inks, no nothing. You want inks? Here's another $50. Here's the, you know what I mean? So sometimes they really like. Sometimes people will try to pull that a la carte thing on you. But I think that if you're getting a full body on a comic cover, because that's the thing too. I didn't expect it to be something like that. I mean, that's basically like a bookmark almost. But I mean, $90 for that. I mean, the placement of it is pretty cool as far as like what he was able to do in that amount of space. So I'd have to say like I understand where you're coming from, just because to ask for that on a like if you ask for that on a sketch cover blank, and that's going to be $300. That's really not that's a lot of money. I mean that I think is a little too much.
Like I think this or this had they been $300, I wouldn't have got them.
Oh yeah,
that's what it would have cost me, because I was originally going to have him do either here or here. Yeah, and that's when he hit me with it, and so I did the little for $90. I'm sort of regretting it, and I should have shopped around the other artists that were there.
Yeah, because for that tight space, I can see myself paying $50-$60 at most for that tight space.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna charge me that much, $90 for that tight space, I'll be like, nah.
Yeah.
I would pass on that.
What I should have done was nah.
I would say as far as getting a blank, like I don't know if Ken Leslie will do this on a blank specifically, but I do know that he does have a lot of like sketch covers. Some of them are colored already, and he charges like $60 for those. So I mean, he's not a bad guy to go to. But I have seen some of them that are like astronomical. Like Mark Bagley wants a lot of money for Remark and for sketches and stuff like that.
Yeah. And Will, ain't you say for $100 this was? Worth it.
Look at that. Yeah,
that was worth it for $100. Yeah,
I mean that even has a background and everything.
Yeah,
that'd be worth it for like $180.
Yeah,
I would think. But I was looking for the thing, I didn't find it, but I did find some of my pictures here that I got. You guys ever watch Gotham, the TV show?
Yeah, I did.
Bits and pieces, yeah.
There's Alfred.
Oh, nice.
He was good as hell as Alfred. I loved him as Alfred.
Yeah, he was. And this guy, meeting him in person was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And to me, Keanu Reeves was great, but the only Constantine now is Matt Ryan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, nice. He looked hot.
He looked definitely.
Yeah, and then of course he signed it to Big Will.
You should have put "As You Wish."
Yeah.
Actually, what would be cool if you got to meet what's it called, Chris Sarandon, like what's it called, Humperdinck. That he'd be a cool guy to meet, because I think he's
he's kind of we got the inconceivable. That guy was there.
Oh yes.
Yep.
That guy was there, but we had to leave. I didn't get a chance to go by and get him.
Oh my god! Because I watched the Cosby Show so much, I know his name isn't Jeffrey Ingalls, but that's what pops in my head. Jeffrey Ingalls. But like, the teacher from Clue, or like he's been in so many different things. Like,
I really need to hang this thing up.
Will, that guy that played Alfred, you said that dude was awesome, man. He could fight his ass off, man. He was bad.
He was vicious. Like he was James Bond. Fuck Alfred.
Dude, that dude could be James Bond.
That is who Alfred should be, based on the books, man. He should be. I liked his Alfred.
He was
awesome, man. I loved him, man. He was one of my favorites, man.
Like he didn't even they didn't hide he did not hide the fact that he killed people. He's like, I did that. That's Alfred do. It's like Alfred has a dark past. That's why I'm cleaning things. I'm trying to live low key, but like that Alfred was. I mean, he was brutal. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that Alfred was badass right there. He was nothing to mess with, man.
Yeah.
I went to Heroes and Villains Fest in Chicago for several years, and they had a lot of the Gotham cast that would show up every year. So I got to meet a lot of them, but probably the most interesting story, outside of, just getting to hang with them and everything, but I was with my friend and we went through Drew Powell's line, and of course he ended up being Solomon Grundy on that show. And I got a really awesome Solomon Grundy photo signed and personalized and everything too. Had a great experience with him and everything. And my friend, she was ahead of me. She was checking on something first. And all of a sudden they told her, they said, I don't remember what she was checking on, but they told my friend, they said, just stay here. You're going to go next. She says, well, let me get my friend up here. So she waved me up and we went through next to meet him. Okay, cool. And, got my autograph, everything's great. And that night we're back at the hotel room and I said to her, I said, oh, how much do I owe you for that Drew Powell autograph? And she said, I didn't pay for it. And I said, I didn't pay for it. I said, I thought you paid for it when you were up there. And she goes, no, I thought you paid for it when you got up there. And I went, oops, we got a free one from Drew Powell.
Did you meet Bruce Wayne, the kid?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Oh man, he was good too, man.
Did he talk your ear off?
Yeah, he was pretty talkative. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Because I went up during the end. They were about to go to a panel. I was the last guy. I got a thing signed, and he comes out from behind this podium, shakes my hand, just leans up. We start having a conversation about time travel, and I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm gonna go sign these other people, but hey. Good job.
I noticed that he doesn't like to stay behind the table. Every time that I've seen him, he's standing in front of that table. He doesn't like being behind there. He likes being up close.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. They would always have some good guests at Heroes and Villains, though, and some people too that you wouldn't expect, like Milo Ventimiglia. You know him from Heroes, but right now he's hot on This Is Us, and especially at that time, he's the dad on This Is Us, and he would be there, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I got so mad the last time I went to Dragon Con because I had a bunch of people from the Flash TV show, and I love me some Danielle Panabaker. She is awesome. I like her stuff. And doggone if her flight didn't get jacked up and she wound up not being there, and I was all ready and willing to have the money stay. I was going to get me a autograph picture and all that, and doggone the flight didn't
I met her at the last Heroes and Villains Fest.
Damn you,
and the one person from the cast of Gotham that was not there that I would have loved to have met and got an autograph is Carmen Bicandova, their Catwoman.
Yep.
But
she was never at the Heroes and Villains either. But I love it because she reminds me so much of the young Michelle Pfeiffer type Catwoman.
Yeah, she did good. But
was
she wasn't
there. Penguin there?
I was about to say the only other person that was there that I wound up not getting an autograph from was the Penguin. I forget the actor's name.
He drug his foot and run through that. I liked him too. I thought he did a damn good job. Cobblepot.
Yeah.
This sketch will only cost me $75. It was from Miko Suyan.
He's gonna be back at MegaCon this year again.
Well, for how much is on there, that's great. I love how you just taped on the 9.8.
It came back.
That way we couldn't tell.
That's not taped in. This is in a sleeve. My case broke.
Because it had rainbow jizz on it, and
you couldn't see this. I had to take it off.
Rainbow jizz.
Yeah, it was terrible. Brand new, came back, and that I didn't have it one day, Will, and I broke it in half and smashed it out of there.
Well, hey man,
you a Hulk man?
I smashed it with my hands. I broke that thing, man. I was pissed off.
Well, man, I had to break out a CBCS book, one of the new CBCS cases. That thing took me 20 minutes to get in. Those things are tanks.
Damn.
They are tough.
Since we're showing sketches, I show this. This is Phil Jimenez did this one. Nice Thanos.
Badass.
Nice.
it was funny too because as he was drawing, he's like, I don't know if I can draw this, man. He's like, you want something else? I was like, I mean, if you can do something else, I guess. And he's like, no, I'll try it. I'll do it out. So he was like, really, like, he didn't like the way it came out, but I do. I think this is amazing.
Shoot, you imagine if you got that color, that'd be badass, man.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick.
Get a great color to color it in purple and do something in the background. It'd be awesome.
Yep. But yeah, I was really excited. So this was, I think, what was it? 2014? No, this was a few years ago, but it was only $40. So I was really excited about that.
Original art?
Original cover art.
Woo!
That is awesome.
Rich Buckler, Dick Giordano inks. This is the first cover appearance of the second Cheetah.
Nice. That's awesome.
right there.
Wait, you mean it took that long? Because I mean, she first came in a single-digit issue, and that's issue what?
Yeah, 272, I think. Yeah, the second Cheetah came. It took that long, and the second Cheetah was the first Cheetah's niece. Sorry, 275. I checked.
That's really cool.
Now, wait a minute. Is that the run before Perez or Perez run?
That's before.
This is volume 1.
Oh, okay. Well, no wonder. I was thinking of volume 2.
Nope.
That's really cool, man.
Man, I want Wonder Woman #9. I think it'd be cool. That's the first Giganta. Golden Age, great cover. Wonder Woman 9.
I would love Wonder Woman 6 for first appearance of Cheetah, but if I couldn't have that, if I could get Sensation Comics #6, because that's the first issue where Wonder Woman gets the magic lasso.
Yeah. Yep.
That is awesome.
That's why I would prefer 9 over 6 is because of the cost. Because Cheetah's a much more known and that's her villain.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and he didn't charge me. And me
Really?
and Steve weren't gonna go that third day.
Yeah, you could thank 90 MF Comics for that one.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He told us, you guys got tickets and you're not going to go last day. You guys suck. So I was like, screw it, Jeff. Let's go, man. 90 sweating us. Let's go on up there. We went up there and he got all that shit free. I didn't do the damn thing.
I went, Buzz, I've seen you for 3 days in a row, but I want you to sign this. He goes, my art's not in this book. And then all I see is him doing an eyeball. I'm like, uh-oh.
Your art's in the book now.
Yeah. It's going to cost me a
lot of money.
That's awesome. He felt left out. He's like, I got to do something. That's really cool, man.
Because I've known him from the 90s, what was it? Vengeance of Vampirella run. Me and Puff know him through that run. And I go, dude, I'm surprised you're not in, you know what I mean? I'm surprised you're not in here. He goes, oh yeah, because Dynamite don't like me. So I go, but I know, but you're one, big example for Vampy. So you gotta sign this or whatever. Yeah. So, and then all I saw him do is starting doing an eyeball, like water painting an eyeball, start water painting stuff. And I'm like, I look at Steve, I go, this is gonna cost me a little. I looked at, and then he goes, yeah, first thing I tell him, I go, what's it gonna cost me? He goes, nothing. I'm like,
Jeff said, okay. How much money you got in case this cost me, man?
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. That's really awesome. I tell you, one person who I'd love to get to do a sketch on either a blank or something. Or actually, if I could find his art book, I would love to get it, but it's out of print. Would be Mike Zeck. I think Mike Zeck, he could really do a great sketch. And I would love to get his sketchbook to have him just do anything. I don't care what it is. I probably would ask him if he could do Storm Shadow. But,
yes, I was thinking Storm Shadow when you said Mike Zeck, because I love the cover of him and what's his name, Cwtcc on that cover. I just recently bought.
Where he's just like, oh yeah, dude, I'm telling you that just for the covers alone, I mean, just for nostalgia and the covers alone, the Mike Zeck covers in that run, you got to complete that G.I. Joe run. It's really just, I think, underrated in terms of just how good the books were, and then just on top of that, the art that was in there and the covers that come with it, amazing. I mean, and so many first appearances, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this folio finished.
Yeah, dude, that's cool. I never thought about doing that. That's actually a really cool idea.
They don't sell these blank white ones anymore.
Oh no.
Well, as far as I know, I mean, I could be wrong. Last time I checked, they didn't even sell them for sale.
Well, a lot of that stuff
my spirits are right here, and all of a sudden we'll just shed them.
Yeah, it's gonna be coming up. Like a lot of stuff is running low, man. Like bag and boards. I've heard from a lot of shops. It's like they're supposed to be back ordered for August. Yeah.
Well,
so
the pandemic shut everything down.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff's behind. It's probably going to be this time next year when things get back up to speed.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
it's next year, like bag and boards for like. If
I got lucky with
yeah.
So I mean, I ordered I still have stuff there. So I mean, still have supply, but I ordered 1,000 Mylars. I want to say last I think November. It got to me in 2 weeks, and they had told me it was probably going to be something like around like 6 weeks. It got to me in 2, so I was really excited about that. So I don't know if that's changed since then, but like I mean, but they would tell me like, oh yeah, pandemic and mail and everything like that. It's going to be a while. So but regular bags and boards, I'm not fully sure just because I still have stock here. So hopefully that lasts me until I need more, and hopefully if that's next year, hopefully things calm down by that point. But
yeah,
that's one thing that's kind of crazy is like, I mean, I sent my books off at a con in April and they still haven't come back. But I mean, as far as, if this wasn't, if CGC wasn't crazy like it is, most people are like, what the hell's going on? But it's just like, yeah, I'm going to be waiting for a while just because after talking to people, like, yeah, like I sent stuff off in like December and it's not here yet.
Trust me, man. My 112 has been off longer than your couple of books.
Oh yeah, exactly. I tell people like it's been 2 months, man. Like 2 months, please. You just started this process. Like,
yeah.
You get a while.
Yeah, and then I still got 2 more books. I still got 2 more books off now that I got this. I got Eric Basaludan's Vampirella off, and then I got Lady Death off. And then those are still off at grading. Just got off the grading, so I like you said, probably next year sometime.
Yeah.
But they told me it's 80 something days. The grader, the people I use the grade, they said about 80 something days. So
yeah.
So let's see.
I mean, hopefully you get your books back, man.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of people.
It's time for me to bounce.
Yeah, because I'm about to shut down the show because it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I got to get going too.
Just under 4 o'clock, 4 hours. So I'm glad I kept it under 4. But
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm glad I sent you the link. Thank you guys for showing up. Boston Chris, it was great having you on the show again.
Oh, thank you for having me on. This has been a great time.
Yeah, so make sure I put a lot of links in the description, including the Comic Hall crew. Sub them up if you can. We'll be on tonight at around 8:45. And just sub up all the channels that's in the description if you're not subbed up to them, because they're phenomenal channels. So this is your boy Sean. Thank you all for showing up in the chat. It's been a great time. We had great conversations. Hopefully next weekend I probably won't do a show because I'm going to try and meet Rena and Cade. They will be at a book signing at Cocoa Beach. So I'm going to try and go down there and meet with them. So looking forward to that. And I just hope everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Stay safe. Peace out, everybody.
Later.
Later.